See, I even have an intro graphic and everything now for this.
That's awesome.
Right? So, obviously, if y'all can see us, hello, we can now see you guys too. So, welcome in. It's our first time running something like this, but I mean, obviously, wait, that way. You're on my left, but on my screen, you're on my right, which is really fun to do with this. But that is Craig. We should have a couple more people joining us, but as far as I know, I do believe that we're going to be over Saturdays and Sundays card and just kind of talking to Breeze. It's been a minute. I actually think this is the first time we as a group have ever tried to do anything like this in the oh gosh, how many years has it been on and off?
Gosh, it's been I want to say 8 or 9 years since we've been we've known each other on social media because of our love for wrestling.
Yeah,
None of us have ever met in person, except there's a couple relatives in our friend group here. So I know one of them won't be joining, but uh, I've known you guys on and off. Like, gosh, I want to say at least a decade now. So it's been a long time. We're all united with our love of wrestling, which spans several organizations, not just WWE. But today we'll be mostly talking about WWE, unless or in WrestleMania, unless something else comes up. It's more of an open chat. So yeah, my name's Craig. I'm from just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
yep. And currently I'm in Colorado Springs. But I actually just found out that me and my girl are getting a townhouse up in Denver here, so we should be up there no later than May. So,
Nice,
yeah.
nice town. So yeah, let's hop right in, and hopefully the guys join us soon. But first night, we've got 3, 4, 6, 7 matches on the card. They haven't released a match order yet, so I'll just go through what I think is probably going to be the order, but it may not be. But I'll start off with the tag match, the 4-man tag match, which might end up getting graduated to the pre-show. We don't know. So it's Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Ian, do you want to go first and give your thoughts on that match?
Sure. Yeah. I know that we are actually going to be opening with Cena in theory tomorrow night, so we'll get to that here in a little bit. But the men's showcase, I've had a couple feelings about this, and it really feels like it's going to be another one of those match types where it's literally just how many more people can we get on the card. Although the fact that it is tag team matches, I'm kind of really hoping that it turns into a number one contendership type of situation. And that's how I'm looking at this. So looking at the card, I mean, uh, shoot, Gable and Otis, whichever one you want to call him. Obviously, they're going to be doing something where honestly, Gable needs to be pushed on the single side. We've all kind of known this for a while.
Yep.
Treat him more kind of like a Kurt Angle type thing. He's done his comedic wrestling, but we know his background. He's great in the ring. Give him that opportunity. Otis is more than capable of carrying comedy on his own, so that one's going to split. And the other rumored split is the Street Profits. And granted, I know that deep down, I've always had an affinity for the Street Profits. So I hope when they do decide to split them, it's more of a New Day split where, they each go on individual runs, but they stay together as a cohesive unit. So kind of like how Big E, Kofi, and Xavier are. I could see the same with Angelo and Montez Ford. But Ford's ready for his breakout. I think that Elimination Chamber run finally showed everybody, hey, a little bit of I can do this on my own. So that's going to bring us down to 2. And we've got Strowman and Ricochet. And don't get me wrong, that's a nice formidable. That's the word. I can English. But that's a pretty solid team there as well. But in the back of my mind, I'm sitting here, they're still super fresh. They're not really well established, and this might be a spoiler for how I think the other tag team match that goes on later to tomorrow night goes. I just don't see them going face versus face right away. you know.
Okay.
And I know that Valhalla doesn't really bring a lot, but you look at this, it's 3 face teams and 1 heel team. Give it to the Viking Raiders. Let's let's do something a little bit different. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it was Strowman and Ricochet. They're probably my number 2 team, but right now I would put my vote with the Viking Raiders.
Okay, so you're basically saying that the Alpha Academy you feel is a face team.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Otis is face enough as is, and the Shoosh has to die.
Yeah, I agree. The Shoosh does have to die. I mean, it's run its course. It was funny at first, but now it's like it's actually it's annoying. But
Yes.
it is to me. I'm sure like everyone's got their preferences. I know we've had our discussions in our Facebook group about in our chat about who likes who and who doesn't like who and what's annoying, what's not. Real heat versus get off my fucking TV heat.
Yeah.
My take on this match, I'm very similar. I think the Viking Raiders haven't been used well since they started, and I think we're starting to see a little bit of turnaround for that. Alpha Academy definitely has to be split up. I think they've got plans for Gable. Otis, unfortunately, will always resort to being that comedic role. He's being moved from one comedy team to another. Sucks because he's a really good wrestler, but it is what it is. Street Profits, as you know, I fully agree. Montez is ready to go. I never even thought of the New Day sort of take to it, so it's really interesting that you said that. But I can really see that happening because I don't see them. They've always gotten along as a tag team, so I can't see one turning on the other unless something happens. Braun and Ricochet, I feel like they were put together because Braun made those stupid comments on social media about the flip floppy guys, and so let's team them with the flip floppy guys to sort of quell that sort of negative to negativity. It may have worked. Braun should still shut his mouth on social media because he's an idiot. But I think this one's going to go to the Viking Raiders. They really deserve it. They are the best team out of all of this, in my opinion. I think when it comes to the Street Profits, they are a strong team, but Montez is like, if I was to put a percentage behind the two, I'd say Montez is like 75 and that may be generous, but Montez is like 75 and Dawkins is like 25. So I think the Viking Raiders are going to take this. There's a lot looking at the entire card as a whole. We can't start giving the faces all the wins. This isn't like the early WrestleManias where you kind of the buildup was like all the bad guys winning, all of a sudden the good guys win all the good matches and stuff. So I think that's probably the Viking Raiders is probably what I would go for. Any more to add on that match?
I mean, I guess I'm appreciative that they're actually giving more teams a chance. Because the tag team division, ever since Jimmy and Jay took it, it really has kind of felt kind of stale. Yeah, it really has. So, I mean, it's nice showcasing, hey, we do actually have more than just the Usos. But if you're going to do this, I feel like, maybe you need to have more tag teams built up or potentially one returning on Monday night. Maybe. That might be a spoiler, but but it just feels like it needs to happen. They need to rebuild this tag team division. Triple H has always been a big fan of it. We saw what he was able to do when he was running the Black and Gold. Now that he's running the big time now, it'd be really nice to see him actually take it and run, kind of like what we saw with the original NXT. Not the game show version, but the
good. No, I fully agree. And that's why I'm a little disappointed they're splitting up the Street Profits. I'm not a huge fan of the team personally, but I hate seeing teams that do really well together being broken up. I wasn't a fan when the name is escaping me. Otis's previous team.
With the Heavy Machinery.
Heavy Machinery. Like they were on a roll, and all of a sudden they split up, right? Like so. And it sucks because I was really a big fan of the other dude, but he got
Tucker was a solid guy. Yeah. He was a solid worker, but he had his behind the scene issues as well. And unfortunately, he was part of that first big round of cuts there. So
and that's again Vince's lack of appreciation for the tag team division, which has existed forever. I mean, unless you go back to like the the mid 80s of the British Bulldogs and Volkov and Sheik and a bunch of the other teams,
Mhm.
even upwards of Demolition and stuff like that. There really hasn't been, probably since I want to say the mid 90s, a serious take on tag teams. It's really unfortunate. I mean, we've had a good, decent tag teams in that time, but
Yeah.
never a good tag team division, which
Right.
sucks. So
Yeah.
anyway, moving on. You mentioned that the first match we know for sure is Cena versus our
Theory.
boy Austin Theory. So I was actually going to hit that match last, but let's do that
Okay.
now. Let's do that now. It's figuring it's going to happen first. I'll go first on this one. I hated Austin Theory when he came onto the main roster. Sorry, not when he came on. When he came on, he was a protege of Seth Rollins. I actually liked him. But when he did that whole selfie gimmick, I couldn't. He was unwatchable to me. Like, it was such an annoying gimmick. I know what they're going for. They're going for that younger, millennial whatever generation or Gen
Mhm.
Z. But my kids watched it and they were like, "This is stupid." Like, it wasn't even appealing to them, right? When he came back with that aggressive attitude, I went from hating this guy to like, holy shit, like it's this is awesome, and this is a pure example of I didn't like his gimmick. They
Mhm.
changed his gimmick to a more aggressive one. I'm like, okay, now you got my attention, right? And it was fantastic. So I look at that and I see the way he's aggressively approaching things, and that promo he cut the other night where he was alone in the arena after John Cena said, when you cut a promo, they have to, or when you're in a match, they have to pipe in audience. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I almost fell in my chair laughing. It was so hilarious because it's true. They do it, all the time. But you look at this guy they're building up. I truly believe it's going to be a good match because Austin Theory is a great wrestler. Cena, the people accuse him of having those three moves, but he can do a lot more than that. I think this is going to be a banger. I think Cena's going to come in and put Austin over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I feel like that's really the only way that you really can go about this is having Theory go over. And like you had mentioned, that promo where Cena had originally said no, and then just tearing into him, saying like, in theory he was supposed to be great. In theory he was supposed to be the next face. I was keeled over, and that's the Cena I miss. Just eviscerating people. And
Yeah.
I guess the only notch down that I would have is that I wish Theory's promo would have been in front of a live crowd as well, rather than pre-recorded.
Okay.
Because I mean, if he's going to be the face of Monday Night Raw or one of the potentials, he's going to have to take the eviscerations from the crowd. I mean, as much as I dislike Roman, as you guys have known for almost a decade now,
Yeah.
he at least goes out and faces the music. Heck,
Mhm.
we saw it the Raw after Mania 33. He sat there and took it.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to be the future face of WWE, I feel like you have to be able to do that. So, I don't know if it was planned for him to do it in an empty arena, but I just feel like that was a little bit of a misstep. But I do like the build to this. We've all kind of seen this coming for a hot minute. But I was also looking earlier at John Cena's filming schedule because obviously he went the more Hollywood route as well.
Yep.
And a lot of his projects are now in post, and there's one in pre.
Interesting.
There's a little bit of an open gap here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Cena were to win, I would say have him win. He shows up Monday Night Raw, does his US Open challenge, and return, debut, somebody comes in, takes it off right now.
Okay.
Like, takes it off of him immediately, and then he can just move on. Because the way I see it, Cena's not coming back specifically just for a US title. If he's going to come back, he's going to come back and try to go for number 17. That's
Right.
the only way that I could see that really going.
Yeah.
But you're right. Theory, he's a heck of a worker. I think he's only like 24, maybe even
Yeah. He's
25. I mean, he's going to be around for a decade plus, so we might as well get used to seeing him.
yeah.
But I think having Cena give him that little bit of a rub to help open Mania, like we were mentioning earlier, not all the faces can win. Give Theory the rub here. I think
Yeah.
it'd be the smart way to go with
Yeah.
that.
It is interesting that you said that in the theory of Cena winning the title and dropping it the next night. I can honestly see a scenario where they give him the title and he holds it for a month and drops at the next pay-per-view just to give him that that one more shot at the U.S. title, because at the end of the day, I can't think of a better U.S. champ, of somebody that elevated the U.S. championship as much as he did.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that come very close. Don't get me wrong. Right, I remember back when Luger and some of the guys in WCW were really putting their oomph behind the title, but
Mm-hmm.
Cena took it to a whole new level. Like he made a mid card title main event, right?
Yeah.
And like that's difficult to do. So I wouldn't be disappointed if, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be disappointed if either of them won. I just think that Theory has come so far since that stupid selfie gimmick, and I think it would damage him if they didn't give it to him. Actually, no, you know what? I take that back. It wouldn't damage him. It wouldn't be great. I think whomever wins and whomever loses in this, it's going to be a good match, and no one's going to suffer any worse for losing the title or losing the match. Cena's had some wonderful wins and amazing losses.
Yeah.
Austin, he lost the title right after he got it. Like, it's just, I think we're going to see a decent match. I personally would put my vote behind Theory to win this, though.
I mean, I would too. And like you said, Cena, he doesn't really need the win here. In theory, I wouldn't even necessarily need it here either. But especially after losing the McAfee, how he did, I feel like he's going to get the rub. And plus, not only that, this new character, ever since Vince left, or at least I'll say retired in disgrace, because that's what it was. He didn't just walk out all amicably. Nah. He left in disgrace, and we know he's back, but he's not touching creative. That actually came out in headlines earlier today, that he is officially back as a WWE employee, but he is not touching creative. Shawn Michaels has literally said, you are not touching NXT at all, which I can appreciate, because at this point, he needs to stay on the business side. Granted, nothing that he has done has been great, but, I feel like that's a conversation for a different time. I'm trying to keep it a little bit lighter here, but yeah, no, ever since then, they've built Theory up quite well. Give him this match. So I guess we're heels 2, faces 0 now.
Yeah, okay.
And I know James is trying to get in too, but...
Yeah, James is trying to get in. I can see that.
I don't know. I think it's that Mississippi internet.
I think so.
We're either going to have to do this another way, or I'm going to have to sit it out. Interesting. I mean, we could always do it the Facebook way again.
That's only one person, though. That's my problem.
You can invite multiple into that room that you had. Where it was
that was just through Messenger, though. It won't appear on the actual thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's run through the day one card.
Yeah.
And we'll regroup. Yeah. So let's move on to probably my least favorite match of the entire 2 days. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. I'll let you take the first crack at this one.
So, I definitely have feelings about this one too. And if there is a quote unquote pee break match for night one, I'm going to say that this is it. I feel like this is going to go on right before the main event, simply because, you got to let the other matches breathe. And that's the other thing that I like, is that there's only 7 matches for a 3 or 4 hour card, which means each match is going to have its ability to breathe. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. James, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you naked? What's going on, man?
No, I just stripped. I got shorts on. I just stripped down. I just got home from work. I'm about to put on a shirt.
That's
Please,
good.
Jesus, do that.
Yeah, for the love of God, put some clothes on, man. We're live.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and Facebook right now, man. I don't think we need everybody seeing that on you right now.
I'm trying to promote my OnlyFans. Leave me alone.
Hey, yo, don't use my platform for that. All right,
So
you figured
anyone
it out.
that's watching, we have James from just outside of Meridian, Mississippi. James has also been one of our wrestling friends for, gosh, again, we're about approximately a decade now, if not more.
2012, actually.
2012. So yeah, we're over a decade now. So that's pretty awesome. And James, I think you actually were one of the later ones to join. So we've been I think around longer than that. So probably about 11 or 10.
No, James was there before I was. I think
Oh,
I
was he
was
really?
the last one. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, Ian came in just after I did.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and then
Wow,
the
so
others.
2012. So about 11 years.
They had
The youngest one of the group, if I'm not mistaken, out of our original team is Alex.
Right.
Yeah, little Nebraska boy still driving.
Yep.
Because when I came in, it was you, Craig, it was you, Ryan, Dustin, and that Middle Eastern kid who originally owned the page.
Oh yeah, and he left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those watching, wondering what the page was, we had a Facebook page, which is where we all started. It was up to about 35,000 fans on the page, and Facebook unceremoniously removed it one day. So we just took it to a group and figured we'd do just for the intimacy of a smaller group, quality over quantity. And we still, a core group of us still have a chat that we talk about wrestling on a daily basis, and we've become pretty decent friends over the past decade. So it's pretty awesome. These guys have helped me through some tough times. I truly appreciate them as friends. Anyway, before I get broken down into an emotional wreck, James, we're just gonna. Do you want us to go back over the two matches we talked about before we move on, or do you want to maybe just give your take on them?
Yeah, I'll make it quick.
Okay, so the first match we talked about was night one. We're not in any particular order here. It's the first match we talked about was Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. So if you want to give your take on that match.
So I'm going to start off with the team that I can tell you is not going to win, and I'm going to tell you why. The one team that I feel has no chance of winning is Alpha Academy, and it's because if you've been paying attention to Raw and SmackDown, Otis has kind of been shifting away from Chad Gable and shifting into the Maximum Male Models thing.
Right.
Otis.
Yeah, Otis.
So they're out of the question. Now, the Street Profits, I don't think they're going to win either. The reason being is because, and if you pay attention to all the dirt sheets and everything that come out, Triple H is really high on Montez Ford as a singles competitor. So I really don't see how much longer him and Angelo are going to be together, even though Angelo has improved dramatically over the last few months. In my opinion, the tag team, the men's, is going to go to Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Okay. The only reason I think that is because that team is red hot right now. And the Viking Raiders, it seems like WWE failed to capitalize on them when they were more popular.
I agree on that. So it's interesting the way you have the take on this. Both Ian and I agreed that the Viking Raiders are probably going to go over on this one. Strictly because they're the only heel team in this match. Well, and I had a different take on that as well, because Alpha Academy to me is still a heel team. But Ian took it as them as more of a face team because of how over Otis is, or Otis.
Well, that's why I say they're going to fall apart soon, because Chad Gable is still technically labeled a heel, while Otis is a face now.
Yeah, and I think it's well documented. They're going to break up. I'm not sure how it's going to happen, if it's going to be amicable, but Chad Gable is already slated for a push. So we'll see how that goes.
It's the winner of that match is either going to be Braun and Ricochet or the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, Alpha Academy is not going to win, and I don't see them putting over the Street Profits right now because, like I said, there's been a lot of talk of Montez getting a singles push. Regardless of how good Angelo Dawkins has gotten over these last few months, they're still big on Montez.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think Ian pointed out that Montez had a hell of a showing at the Elimination Chamber, which I agree with. I've never been a huge fan of that team, only because the gimmick's been done before with what's the other guys, Crime Time, which I like that team. Don't get me wrong, and I like the Street Profits. I'm just not a huge fan. I just think that it's been done, and I'm not a fan of the comedic acts. I just want to see wrestling, right? And I get that it's entertainment, but I'm just there to watch a good match, right? And when Montez goes to the ring and actually wrestles, the guy can go, right? He doesn't need to do all the comedic shit. But I guess when they're faces, it happens. I almost feel, and I know I joke about her a lot in the group, and I call her Skippy McTwirlabraid. Her and her husband need to turn heel, because both of them, if they got rid of the comedic sort of element to their character, would be kick ass. Like it would turn me from I can't stand this woman to damn, she's awesome because she can wrestle. And same with Montez, like the comedic shit. You look past all that, the guy can go, because in that Elimination Chamber match, that was fantastic.
I am actually, me and my best friend have been talking a lot about WrestleMania, because back at SummerSlam was his first time watching wrestling since the days of John Cena versus Randy Orton.
That spans decades. That doesn't put a good timeline on anything.
Well, we're talking like the last time he watched it was like 2009, 2010 when Orton was at his peak heel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I really think that because Asuka and Bianca are both going into this thing as faces.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe that if Asuka does manage to tap out Belair, she's going to go to shake her hand or fist bump or whatever. Then, and I think Belair is going to turn on her.
Okay. Let's not jump the gun. So, unless you want to talk about that match, I think that's actually happening night 2, I believe.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the second match that y'all discussed that I missed first then.
Okay, so that would have been Austin Theory and John Cena.
There's very little to say here. John Cena did not come back to be a champion. John Cena came back for the sole purpose of putting Austin Theory over.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because if John Cena was coming back to be a champion and do the open challenge again or whatever, we would have seen him more than one time since he came back to challenge Austin Theory, or since Austin Theory challenged him. I think that Triple H is still trying to help get Austin Theory over, and what better way to do it than to beat arguably the greatest in-ring performer we've ever seen.
All right, you're going with Austin Theory.
Yep.
Are you keeping notes there, Ian?
Got you.
Awesome. All right, so I've got Viking Raiders for the tag match, and I took Theory for United States Championship to retain. All right, so let's go to the match we were about to talk about when you hopped in, James. So we can all put our noggins on this one. Is Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. And Ian, you were actually talking about your take on this when James jumped in, so I'm gonna respectfully pass it back to you.
Okay.
I think you were on a roll.
Yeah. So I'm in a way fantasy booking this, but at the same time, it still gives my winner. So I've always seen this as Dom, as much as we all hate him, he has grown a little bit on me in ring promo wise with the whole, oh, you're a deadbeat dad, you weren't there for me. Not gonna lie, I used to always turn him off. Now I turn him off 95% of the time. So he's growing on me just a little bit there, but he's leaning into this Guerrero thing very heavily. And the last time that we saw Eddie, I believe, was WrestleMania 21, which was the last time WrestleMania went Hollywood. So follow me here.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio is going into the Hall of Fame here in about 4 or 5 hours. Great. Let him have his entrance. Let him come out first. Obviously, he does his pop out the ground, his regular entrance, blah, 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 whatever. We're waiting on Dom to come out. You just hear out of nowhere, Mamacita. The stage opens up. You see two headlights. Dom drives a lowrider, Eddie's lowrider, down to the ring. But he's not alone. He's got Vicky with him. Because if y'all remember the storyline from SummerSlam 06, maybe, that sounds about right. When they did the Battle of Custody with the ladder match, Dom was Eddie's kid in that.
No,
And
that was 2004, 2006 because Eddie died in 2005.
Okay, but you know the story. They're gonna lean into that. So Vicky comes out with him because she's always said that she wants to be a part of this storyline. This is where it gets in. They have their match. Dom's beating on Ray. Ray takes it for a while, but he ends up fighting back. You know, one thing leads to another. Ray hits a 619 splash. He gets his big win in Hollywood. Dom is in the corner. So this part's post-match. And you know how they've started doing like the camera in the corner without the mic, but you could still hear them talking type thing for the home audience? They do that, and you see Ray helping Dom to his feet, literally just apologizing, saying, I'm sorry I wasn't there. I need to be a better man. I should have been there for you instead of focusing on my wrestling career. You know, this, that, the other. Dom starts getting all emotional as well, things of that nature. Then Ray takes a step back, and he slowly starts undoing the buttons like he's going to take his mask off. Off camera, somebody in all black comes into the ring. Dom gets wide-eyed. Ray gets kicked from behind, square between the legs. He falls. Dom looks, he's trying to figure out what it is. The guy takes the hood off. It's Chavo Guerrero.
Wow.
Now that I admit that would be, pardon my language, but that would be one hell of a way to play it out.
I'll just going to jump in here. Love it. I do love it. Don't get me wrong, but there's one element that I don't think is going to happen.
What's that?
Only because Vicky Guerrero is still under contract with AEW.
True, but if you've also heard, Tony Khan did give Christian the pass.
Yes.
So, but I think we've got somebody else waiting.
Oh.
What's up, Nebraska?
Oh, is that Alex?
There we go.
Alex,
buddy.
SmackDown just started, guys.
Awesome.
Nice. So, obviously, you've been watching. So, I just give my Ray versus Dom kind of prelude and exclude. But the way I see it, going back to that real quick, I feel like this Guerrero Mysterio feud continues on because Ray, I still think he has a couple more years in him. Let this play out to SummerSlam. Let this be the rivalry through the summer. But I still think Ray takes it in the end.
Okay, I'm going to hop in next.
Sure.
Alex, just to give you a heads up, we've already covered 3 matches. So I'm gonna finish off.
2.
Two matches. Sorry, this is our 3rd. I'm gonna finish off the one we're talking about now, which is Ray against Dominic. Pass to James. We'll pass to you for the same match, and then we'll go back and you can do the previous 2 before we move on to the other one, just so we can keep the flow going. Okay. So Rey Mysterio and Dominic, you guys are there's no secret that I've never been a fan of Dominic. I think the guy can't wrestle worth shit. That being said, and I frankly, he can't cut a promo worth shit. I just think he was fast tracked way too soon. His father was carrying him. Now that he's on his own, he's with 3 talented wrestlers, and he still can't just keep up. That being said, over the last month or so, he has improved. He's got a lot of fans that love him. I frankly still don't. That being said, I think Ray has the capability to carry him in a match, and I think the emotional promos that have been happening lately have been actually pretty good. I won't say great, but they've been good. And I think the way the buildup of Ray actually smacking him out was previously done. The match, I think, there's been rumors that there'll be a lowrider involved, so I think I'm going to echo the lowrider coming out. I just don't think it'll be Vicky. I think it'll be Rhea. That'll give Rhea a 2-night sort of exposure.
Okay.
So she'll be with him in the lowrider. There's actually a picture floating around the internet right now of Dom in a lowrider with his Thug Life or whatever the heck it is cap, and Rhea in the passenger seat. So it's quite possible. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't know if it's just something that they just like a photo op. As far as who's going to go over, I don't think Ray's going over in this. Ray actually also made a comment at one point that he thought he had to retire when he went into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't. So I don't think we're going to see the last of Ray. I truly believe that this feud's going to go on, but I think this one's going to Dom. Dominic needs, as much as I hate to say this, Dominic needs this win. He's on a roll. He called out his dad. It's the storyline, just the way things are going. I'm all about, whether I like it or not, I'm all about a really good storyline. And this story went from being absolute crap to I'm okay with it, right? And if Dominic gets this win, I think it'll be huge for his character, and I think it'll help. It'll help put Judgment Day on a different level because not going too far into it, but I think there's gonna be more wins in the group than just Dominic. So James, I'll pass to you next.
It is also no secret that I believe Dominic couldn't wrestle his way out of a wet paper bag. I believe if he tried to sell you a car, you would leave there pissed off, thinking that he owed you a car. I don't think. I mean, he has improved a little bit, not enough to say that I'm pleased with it. Because honestly, it's done got to the point where this whole thing is getting stale because this has been going on since like SummerSlam, right after SummerSlam, and
Clash of Castle, yeah,
and I do think that if they do the lowrider thing, it's going to be with Rhea Ripley because they are trying to, in my opinion, they're trying to do with Dom and Rhea what they did with Eddie and China.
Okay.
So I think that if I gotta echo Craig, if they do come out in a lowrider, it's going to be with Rhea. I also think that Dom is going to go over because they are trying so hard to get him over, and I feel like if Ray wins, it's just going to put him way back to the bottom rung of the ladder, and that's not the direction they're taking Dom right now. I do agree with both of you that I think Ray still has a long time left to go before he calls it quits. But if you recall at WrestleMania 21, Ray beat Eddie. And with them trying to push Dom as the new Eddie, I could see them looking at this as, oh, here's our chance to get Eddie over. And they're going to have Dom go over Ray since this is WrestleMania Goes Hollywood again. So long story short, I'm going with Dominic Mysterio.
All
right, Alex.
Yeah, this one's kind of a toss up for me, but I think I was watching when Ian was talking about Dom's entrance. I think Dom's gonna pull out a lowrider too. But
let me fantasy book this ish. Let's go.
But yeah, I think this one was kind of a toss up for me. But I think I feel like Dom's gonna win that match. I think.
Okay. Right. I'll stand alone on Team Ray over here.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh,
Alex, sorry, Ian, you're keeping notes, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. Alex, we're gonna back up before we move on. So the last match we talked about was Austin Theory versus John Cena. So if you can give us your take on that and potential winner.
Yeah, that one. I feel like that one really hasn't really had like a lot of build to it. Maybe I feel like it was just that that one promo that they had like a couple weeks ago when John Cena came back. I mean, other than I guess Theory, I kind of mentioning his name every once in a while, but I feel like maybe that one. I think think Austin Theory is gonna win that one. I think, but I would love for John Cena to win. I think James kind of said it best. I think John gonna put him over. I don't think they're gonna come back. I don't think he's gonna come back and win the title. You know, but
Okay.
I would like John Cena to come back and bring back the U.S. Open Challenge.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Because he did have some good matches when he had that going, but what's he called? Yeah, I think Theory's gonna win that one. So
All right. So the first match we talked about was the 8-man tag match, or 4x2, or 4x2, 2x4. So
The fatal four-way, the fatal four-way tag match.
Four-way tag match. Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders. What's your take?
yeah, I was when I was driving on my way back home, I didn't even know this was gonna be a match. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. But what's it called? I was gonna make a prediction when I forgot who was talking, but the word on the street is that there's a draft happening after Mania, so I think the Street Profits I think they're gonna break up the Street Profits after Mania, maybe.
Okay.
But in that match, who's in that match?
So you've got the Street Profits, Alpha Academy, the Viking Raiders, and Braun Strowman and Ricochet.
Oh, okay. I think Braun and Ricochet are gonna win that one. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you got I think James, you had Braun and Ricochet as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ian and I both had the Viking Raiders. So I think we're all caught up now. So let's move on to the next match. I'm going to save that one for last. Let's do the women's match. Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish versus Damage Control.
I'm going to go last on this because I have another fantasy booking for this.
All right, I'm going to go first. I'm going to
I'm gonna go after you, Craig.
I think this can obviously go two ways. Damage Control really, really needs this win because it's not for the titles. I have a feeling that Damage Control is going to leak out a win. That being said, they've looked really weak the last few weeks. I feel like the team is just lost. Bayley's not a strong enough leader. You guys know that I've never been a fan of hers. Dakota Kai is great, and Io, in my humble opinion, is much better as a singles competitor. It was a really odd. I know this was like the second idea for Damage Control. There's two other people that were slotted for the positions that Bayley had her eyes on, but they were this was like the second iteration. But I think they really need to squeak this win out. I have a feeling that because of the I don't think Trish is going anywhere. Lita may not as well for a bit. I have a feeling that Trish is going to turn on Lita in the match because I mean they've always been great as competitors, not partners, in my opinion. I look back at when they were very active. I've always been a fan of Trish. I've fucking loved her since the day she showed up. I mean, who wouldn't? But I just think that they're going to something's going to happen there. I think Damage Control is going to pull out the win. They desperately, in my opinion, need it.
Yeah, I have to echo that too, Craig. Because ever since they've come back, the only real accomplishment they've had is Io and Dakota winning the tag titles. But once they won them, and I think it was Becky Lynch made this point, correct me if I'm wrong, but Becky Lynch made the point that when they won the titles, they never defended them. Like they basically just became part-timers after they won the titles because they, until they lost them, they never defended them. And, to echo something you said, Craig, me personally, everybody that knows me knows that Bayley is my favorite women's wrestler. She's my Bayley. But you're right. She's not strong enough to lead a faction. And Dakota is good, but Io really stands out because Io is really good as a singles competitor. She's very technically gifted. She may not be the best on the mic just because, she does have a really thick accent, but she is very technically gifted. She puts on great matches, and I think she will be a women's champion one day. But I have to say that this match is going to Trish, Lita, and Becky because with how strong they're making that group look right now, if they have them lose, it's going to kill all their momentum. So I'm going with Lita, Becky, and Trish.
So, I just want to jump back into mine. I want to specifically say that with Damage Control going over, I truly believe that Bayley is going to be the one to pin Becky. And the reason why I say that is because the two have been at odds for quite some time. And I think that would solidify their win with them going over. So pass it on to, because I know, Ian, you want to go last. Alex, are you there, or did you escape for a bit?
Sorry. I sent a message there. What's it called? I think to kind of echo Craig. I think that Damage Control has been kind of looking kind of weak. They haven't really. They won the titles, and nothing good has happened since after that. But I think that match. I feel like Damage Control really needs that one. But I think Becky, Trish, and Lita are gonna win that match. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So James, sorry, you had Becky, Trish, and Lita as winning as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the only one right now with Damage Control. So Ian, take it away.
All right, let's go back to Fantasy Booking 101. So I'm tying everything into this whole story about how this whole thing started.
Yep.
Because when Becky and Lita originally said that they wanted the tag team championships, Dakota and Io Sky never accepted. It was Bayley that accepted for them.
Right. You're right.
So let's keep that in mind here. Okay. Match goes on. Should be a good, solid 15-minute banger here. Bayley's in the ring. She's getting beat. She's looking for a hot tag to an empty corner. Dakota Kai and Io Sky walk out on Bayley because they never wanted this match to begin with. However, Bayley's sitting there trying to figure out what she's going to do, and Lita's in the ring and everything. Trish ambushes Lita. And circa Night of Champions 2009, maybe it was 2008, Trish joins Bayley. And Trish pins Lita. Damage Control gets the win. But Damage Control is broken up. So now you have three teams. Dakota Kai and Io Sky, they don't break up. Becky and Lita, they still have the titles. But now you have new contenders with Trish
and Bayley.
Brilliant. Because like you said, Trish and Lita, they need to go against each other. It make no sense for Lita to make the turn here. I'm going to say Trish makes the turn mid-match and helps Bayley win. Damage Control wins through weird shenanigans. That's what I got.
That's interesting.
Love it.
I just had another thought about that. If y'all don't mind me revisiting that match for a minute.
No,
go for it.
I actually agree with Ian, but in a different capacity.
Okay.
I believe that, because Io and Dakota are probably kind of peeved off that Bayley accepted that match on their behalf from the get-go. I believe that Bayley is going to try to tag out, and like Ian said, going to be an empty corner. I do believe Trish is going to turn on Lita and Becky, but I think we're going to see another Judgment Day scenario where Trish kick Bayley out of Damage Control, and Trish, being an actual woman that's able to lead, is going to start leading Damage Control.
Okay.
Even if more in a managerial role than anything, but I could see Trish starting to starting to lead damage control.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, I think Bailey needs out of damage control because as a leader of a faction, there's no believing her.
No.
I just don't understand it with her. Like, I get what they were trying to go for last SummerSlam, but I felt like this has really run its course. Bailey deserves a lot better, maybe even as a singles competitor or, as tag team, but not as the leader of a faction. I just can't see it anymore.
I'll be honest with you. When it first happened, I was kind of like, "Ooh, you've got my attention. This is interesting." I was at, I was at a point where I was like, "Don't like Bailey, but this is interesting. I'd like to see where they go with it."
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I was like, "This is really good," and it's just gotten downhill from there. They really haven't been used properly. As you mentioned, how often did they defend their tag titles? Not great. But yeah, so I think am I the only one for damage control? Oh no, Ian, you're with damage control on a modified win.
Yep.
James, you're with
Alex, and they both took Team BLT.
Team BLT. Okay. All right, so let's move on. We've got 1, 2, 3 matches left. All right, so let's do Seth Rollins and Logan Paul.
Can I go first on this one?
You absolutely can.
Have left?
This is going to be the match of the night for night one. Logan Paul, he's only wrestled, 2 or 3 matches since he signed with WWE, but every match that he's wrestled in has been absolutely superb. Seth Rollins is, in my opinion, the most technically gifted wrestler in WWE today. He's one of the most over because the fact that you got to think we'll listen to the crowd sing his theme song the entire freaking time a match is going on. But I believe that this match is going to be match of the night for night one. I do believe that Seth Rollins is going to go over in this match. But I believe it's going to be match of the night for night one.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I think that match is going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to that match. We've seen how Logan Paul has performed. That Roman Reigns match that he had with him, was really good. And I can't remember who else he had. There was another match that he had that was really good. So obviously, you put him with Seth Rollins, who's also a great performer. I think that's going to be a but I think Rollins is going to take that one. I think.
Yeah, 2 for Rollins. So I've never been one to read into somebody's antics or who likes who and who doesn't like who before they join certain things. And I know Logan Paul has had a pretty bad reputation about just being a dick. That being said, he stepped into the ring at WrestleMania with Miz for his first match.
Oh yeah.
And tagging with Miz, where the Miz, at the end of the match where Miz turned on him, and that was a fantastic match. Then he goes up against Roman, goes toe to toe. It was a decent match. His showing at the Royal Rumble this year, pretty decent. If booked properly, this could possibly be the match tonight. I agree with that. I truly believe that Logan, in some of the things he's done, can out wrestle half of the roster. He's got an amateur wrestling background, so it's very believable. That being said, his contract ends that night. He's gotten the better of Seth Rollins over the past whatever it was. It's at least since the Rumble. I think that's when the whole thing started. When I actually watched the Rumble today, and when he came back and everyone, I remember all of us were chatting in our chat, and it's like, where the hell did Logan Paul go? And I think Alex, you said no, he was sent out, and we're like, I don't remember him being sent. I think Ian was like, I don't remember him being sent out, and all of a sudden he comes back in the ring and tosses Seth out. So that, instead of there being the 3 we thought, there was a different 3, and it was surprising because I thought Seth would be Seth and Cody at the end, and it ended up not being Seth and Cody. So I really think that Seth's going to get his payback, and this is one of the matches where the face is going to go over.
I always like those. I always like those creative always throws at us. I think we all thought that it was going to.
Yeah. It fooled me. I didn't see it. It was a pretty fast. However they did it, it was so fast. And I even watched it today. I was like, I still didn't see him go over. Right? Like I didn't see him go over.
Oh God, y'all make this hard. You guys make this hard for me. I swear. But no, I mean, you guys are definitely on the right track. I mean, Rollins has definitely gotten the hoop end of the stick here in this rivalry. Obviously getting knocked out with that surgically repaired hand, that knockout punch that everybody's been trying to hype up ever since Logan was facing Roman at whatever pay-per-view it was in Saudi Arabia. I really don't care to think about what it was called because I've got feelings. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I mean, obviously Rollins is the absolute workhorse of Monday nights. We've all known this for years. When he's healthy, I know Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania, but Seth Rollins does truly steal the show when he has the time and capability. And again, the fact that there's only 7 matches on a 3 to 4 hour card, they're going to let this match breathe. But I was also thinking about this last WrestleMania. The Miz and Logan Paul teamed up, and The Miz is hosting this year. So, I mean, The Miz is going to try to find a way to have some say in this match, I feel, but I don't think it's going to help Rollins any. But I also think that that's not the only interference that we're going to see.
Oh.
Simply because this is in LA. This is Hollywood. They're going to go for the big story. Logan has a brother who just signed with Pride FC. And, I don't like saying this because that entire family has been very iffy to me. I see Logan might be down. Rollins might be going for a stomp, and he goes back, and he gets sucker punched by Jake Paul, who's standing on the apron. Rollins goes down. Logan goes for a cheap cover. 1, 2, 3. I've got Logan Paul winning this.
Wow. All right. So we got Logan Paul, Ian with Logan Paul, and the rest of us with good old Seth. All right.
Yeah.
I have a if I can just add one more thing to that.
Sure.
I heard that I don't know if Craig just said it right now, but Logan Paul's contract is up after Mania, so
I mean, it is, but it is also his birthday.
yeah.
But, I mean, the way I see it, it's LA. They might find a way to write it into a storyline, get people excited, get WWE on more tabloids. That's my thought process behind this one.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's move on. 2 matches left. Let's do the women's SmackDown Women's Championship: Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I'll take this one first. Charlotte, to me, is the most talented female wrestler on the roster. She gets a lot of hate because of her last name, where people say that she got to where she was because of her name. Well, she did go to NXT first. She paid her dues, not like Dominic. And frankly, she was a fitness model, fitness instructor prior. She's very athletic. Just remember that flip she used to do before she got into the ring. Anyone who's ever done gymnastics knows that's extremely difficult to do. That forward sort of cartwheel thing with a jiggy. Very athletic. She's very solid in the ring. She's tall. She's built. Frankly, I've respected everything she's done since she got here. I'm not one of the fans that are just like, oh, it's because of her last name. However, she went over Rhea Ripley a couple years ago for the NXT title. A couple years, I can't remember how long ago it was, but it was a few years ago. And I think that was because, I mean, I just don't think Rhea was a strong enough competitor at the time, and they needed to knock her down. And it was a wise move. They sent Charlotte down for a bit, came back up. Now Rhea has come to the main roster. I think she's grown leaps and bounds. While I'm not a fan of her being paired up with Dominic, because frankly I don't like Dominic. Again, to be clear, it's not that I don't like Dominic. I don't like his gimmick. I don't like his character. I don't hate anybody on the roster. I think they're all talented in their own way. But I think Rhea has come so far that she's winning the title from Charlotte. She's going to get a clean pin on Charlotte Flair. And this will be a title change for me.
All right. I mean, I'll go next because I've been going these last couple times. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I feel like this is the payback match for Charlotte going over at 36. Rhea takes this one. Her work over this last year has been beyond ecstatic. And the other thing behind this is that for the last 6-7 years, we've been so focused on the 4 horsewomen. Your Baileys, your Beckys, your Charlottes, your Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
I had to think about what she goes by now, but Sasha Banks. But that's almost 10 years. It almost feels time for a new wave. And when you think new wave, I know that you may not like her as much as others, Craig, but Bianca Belair is definitely going to be one of those leaders. And you would have to have Rhea Ripley up there too.
Yep.
So it may not be exactly a torch passing moment, but the way that Rhea has absolutely stepped up her game, she's been looking absolutely dominant. I can't think of the last time I've even seen her have a botch.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. And to be clear, I don't dislike Bianca Belair. I don't like her character. I don't like her gimmick. I think if she was to add a little more seriousness to her character, she'd be great. But she appeals to the younger kids, right? I mean, how many girls not, I guess I don't want to say toddler, but not quite teenager, but younger females are out in the audience that are just loving the skipping and stuff. It's not me. Don't like it.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I mean, end of the day, Charlotte, she's had 14. I mean, you could look at this as though they're trying to build Charlotte to get to 16 faster, or you could see it as the payback for 36. But I don't see how they have Charlotte go over with how hot that Rhea's been.
And I think Charlotte will beat her dad's record, even though his record really isn't 16.
It's like 24 or 25.
Yeah. They've got it 16, but it's more than that. But anyway, I think she'll surpass 16. So,
sure.
All right, who's up next, James or Alex?
I'm gonna let Alex go because he's been going since he just came in. Give him a chance. I'll go last on this one.
That's good, Alex.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
Can you hear us now?
I can hear. Can you guys hear me?
we can hear you now. Yeah, you cut out there for a bit.
I don't know. James is doing dishes over here, just stealing your mic over here. Nice stealing, light bro.
Yeah, I was saying, is it Rhea and Flair? Is that the match?
Yep.
you're talking about? Oh, okay, yeah. I think, to kind of go along with Craig, like Charlotte is a really she's really athletic. I mean, she's really athletic, and I think that's gonna be a really good match too. But they've been kind of building up. They've been kind of going building up Rhea. What's it called? They've been building Rhea for pretty. She's been doing like building them pretty good. So I think Rhea's gonna win that one. I think.
For Rhea? Okay.
Yep.
All right, James, you're up.
So here's my thing with it is, yes, Charlotte, I agree, Charlotte is going to break her dad's record, even though officially his record is only 16. Like y'all pointed out, his record's really like 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
But officially, it's 16. I think that Rhea, like I don't remember which one of you guys said it, but Rhea is going to be helping lead the next generation of women, and I really believe that by doing that, they've got to capitalize on them. And not only do they got to capitalize on Rhea's strengths right now, but it's also look at the Judgment Day since they formed. The only real success that Judgment Day has had is just beating up on Edge and Rey Mysterio. This is the prime opportunity for Judgment Day to get over and actually put championship gold around one of the members' waists. And what better way to do it than to settle, a 3 or 4 year old rivalry between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair? So I got to go Rhea Ripley on this one.
All right, 3 for Ripley and 1 for Flair.
I have a what's it called? Pardon the youngin here. I know that you guys keep talking about the titles for Flair, but I know the 16 titles. But what are the other titles that Flair?
WCCW.
Yeah, there's a few
WCW.
independents that Vince. Remember Vince will only recognize very large companies like IG,
WCW,
like New Japan. Even though Flair never won a title there, but he won't recognize. So he'll recognize anything that he's bought. So WCW or anything that he's buried, really, like AWA. I think he would mention that, or NWA. So the titles that Flair won in those organizations are the ones that contribute to that 16. But I believe he won titles elsewhere as well. So, which don't account for what Vince decides are Flair's 16. So.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so James, you're picking Charlotte?
No, I'm picking Rhea.
Okay, so we're all Rhea then, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Rhea needs this win more than Charlotte does.
All right. Give me 1 sec, because I think we might get to our 5.
Yeah, I see it.
Turn his camera on. Pull me in. I'm eating. All right.
Oh, are you guys, real quick, while we're pulling it in and we're taking a small pause, are you guys watching SmackDown?
I'm not.
I would if it had started 37 minutes ago out here. It doesn't go live for another 22 and a half minutes.
That's frustrating.
But I know that Uso's open. I don't know, dude. Fox out here is weird. But
What?
it is. Yeah. Fox out here, it doesn't start until 7.
You want to
7 to 9.
thing is
right now it's Big Bang Theory.
What's going on, James?
They just had a awesome fatal 4-way match. It was Montez Ford versus Ricochet versus which one of the Viking Raiders is bald?
Eric.
Yeah, Eric and Chad Gable. Ricochet picked up the win by pinning Eric. I think it was Eric he pinned.
Wow.
So by virtue of WWE booking,
Yeah,
Craig, I think you and me are going to be right.
Yeah, I think so.
Because everybody loves that 50-50, baby.
Yeah. Usually, yeah, I agree. And I think, going back to the Logan Paul Seth Rollins match, he's literally been knocked out every time they've come together by Logan Paul. There's got to be payback, right? So they build that shit up for a reason. So, you want to save the last match for Dustin? Like, let him catch up so we can all talk about the reason why I saved the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match for last is because I think we're all going to have some serious thoughts on it. And when I say for last, that's last of night 1. If we want to continue, we're upwards over an hour now. If you guys are up to doing night 2, I'd love to. But again, we got to be respectful of timing.
I was going to say, man, we're going to be committed to WrestleMania for 8+ hours.
Yeah.
That's not including the pre-show.
Yeah,
we're already watching SmackDown. Well, you guys are watching SmackDown. I'm eventually going to get there.
Yeah.
We still got the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And then we still got Stand and Deliver. We still got the night after Mania. Like, what?
And I got to say, the best
2.5 hours.
Yeah,
honestly.
I got to say the best quote to come out of the last few weeks of us chatting about WrestleMania was Alex and his quote of 10 o'clock morning wrestling. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I almost fell in my chair. I was laughing so hard. So I'm going to take
California raisins back.
Yeah. I'm going to take a quick washroom break. We'll wait for Dustin to come in. But when he comes in, if you guys, there he is.
There he is.
Yo.
Yeah. I was going to say you were. Oh. Did we lose Craig for a minute?
Yeah, he said he'll be back.
Remember he said he was going to the bathroom real quick.
I just turned my camera off.
Okay. Well, Dustin, let's get you caught up on the 6 matches that we've covered so far because we're going night 1 to night 2. So your take on the men's showcase match.
Could fucking care less about it. It don't mean shit.
But if you had to pick a winner, because I'm actually taking notes on this.
I'm not going to fucking pick a winner because what's the fucking winner get out of it? Nothing?
I'm assuming it's going to be the number 1 contendership.
That's what I'm thinking too.
That's what they said about the fucking Greatest Royal Rumble after, and whatever fucking happened to Braun after that. Nothing. Got released and went and got his nipple pierced and started that one shitty wrestling promotion.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I guess we'll leave you out of that one. Cena and Theory. Oh my God.
He froze.
Dustin froze.
The Andre Battle Royal's up next.
Dustin froze.
Damn, did he freeze?
Yeah.
I think Dustin froze, buddy. All right, Dustin, try
time.
again here in a sec, man.
On his first match?
Oh,
there he is. There. Oh.
Wait.
I see
Okay.
him now.
Okay. I think he's moving now.
He is.
Oh.
We lost it again.
Oh.
Crap.
I know he's trying, but
Yeah.
you missed it. He said he doesn't give a shit
About which match?
for the men's showcase.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Because he's like, it doesn't mean anything. So I'm like, all right.
And you know what? He's correct.
Yeah.
I think this was a good way to get.
It's fucking storming its
guys
ass
on
off here, so that's probably why.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good,
I
brother.
think this was a good way to get a bunch of guys on the card that probably wouldn't have been anyway. Sadly, I'm still disappointed that Lashley was
Relegated.
of what transpired in order for Lashley to no longer be on the card. I think that sucks. But
I wish they could have did a surprise match for him. You know? Kind of like Seth last year.
You've got LA Knight, you've got Karrion Kross, both not on the card.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dustin, let's get back to you.
All right, Dustin, since
All
we
right.
know that you don't care about match number 1, I'll give you the actual match number 1. Cena versus Theory.
Theory.
Easy enough. So far,
Cena
we're
don't
5
need
for
it,
5
Theory
on
does.
Theory. And I was going to say, right now, I believe this is the only match where everybody agrees on. So, just going to put that into perspective here. All right, from there, we went to Ray versus Dom.
Dom.
Okay. I stand alone on Team Ray. Let's go.
Ray don't need it.
All right. And then we've got Becky, I called him Team BLT because Becky, Lita, Trish against Damage Control.
Damage control.
Okay. All right. And then we went Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Rollins.
Okay. And then we just finished covering Charlotte and Rhea.
Rhea.
All right. So that's 2 matches where we all agree. So, all right. Cool. Greg, we can now proceed.
All right. So I think before we proceed,
we should try to keep a
another
running total.
opportunity.
I was gonna say we should try to keep a running total like during WrestleMania during the. Oh, okay.
Oh, Ian's got notes, man. We got it. We got it. So I think before we proceed, just because Dustin joined, just want to take another opportunity. We're now an hour and 14 minutes in. So thanks, guys, for putting up with this. I know it was my idea, and I figured you guys would initially when I brought it up, we were like, nah, it's not going to happen. But I really appreciate it. For everyone watching, we are all from different geographical locations. Out of the 5 of us, I'm the only one in Canada. I'm in just outside Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Ian's out in Colorado. Deadman, who's James, is down in Mississippi. Alex is up in Nebraska, so I guess that's the Midwest.
Midwest.
and Dustin's in Missouri, just outside of St. Louis. So we're all from very different areas, and we've been I think we said 2011 or 2012. We've been talking since, and none of us have ever met in person. We've been friends online with a common love of wrestling since 2012. The only people that probably met in person, well, we 100% know, is Ryan, who's no longer, is sorry, not no longer, but isn't with us tonight. He is Dustin's uncle, so we know they've met before. At least we hope. But they also, Ryan and Dustin are also they wrestle. So we've only seen them in videos, and they put on a great show. It's nice having that firsthand knowledge of things that go on in the industry. We really appreciate your expertise. And guys, I just want to say it's been a blessing knowing you guys for over a decade. You've got me through some tough times. There's times where I just don't want to talk about anything but wrestling, and you guys are there to carry on the conversation. So thank you. All right, so let's go on to the last match of the night for the undisputed tag team championships. The Usos, who are champions, versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Alex, you go first.
Yeah, I think this is another one that can potentially steal the night. But I think the storyline to this has been amazing. But I think this one. The Sami Zayn and KO obviously have to win it. I think it's a no-brainer. I think. So I'm gonna take them, but I think it's gonna be interesting what happens to the Usos after if they do happen to lose the titles. So, but I'm gonna go with KO and Sami. So.
All right, whoever wants to go next, because
I got to agree with Alex. The thing with WWE fan base, and me and my best friend were talking about this earlier, they're very fickle. Like, if y'all recall,
it's a WWE fan base.
Well, I know, but since we're just talking strictly WWE, that's just why I didn't. But yeah, it's all fan. But anyway, if y'all recall, in 2014, Daniel Bryan was the hottest thing. Like, everyone loved him. Like, the Yes Movement was arguably one of the most well-loved things in WWE history. But as soon as he got hurt and had to relinquish the titles, everyone just moved on from him. Like, it was like 2 weeks into his injury, and they'd already replaced him with somebody else. If they don't capitalize on Sami Zayn's popularity right now, they're going to lose their opportunity to, because right now, Sami, in my opinion, there's only one name hotter than Sami Zayn right now, and that's Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins is the only guy in WWE who can be in the middle of the match and will stop because the crowd is singing his theme song. But going back to the match at hand, the wild card for me, and y'all can agree or disagree, the wild card is going to be Solo, because Solo doesn't have a match. So I'm almost willing to bet Solo is going to be at ringside for Reigns versus Rhodes. But my thing is Solo going to play a part to try and help his brothers win the match? I think if he does, I think somebody, I don't know who, it's not going to be Cody, but if Solo does try to intervene, I do think somebody's going to come out and try to even the odds against the Bloodline, because like Craig has said before, this is long-term storytelling, and the Bloodline has run over a lot of people to get where they are. They have made a lot of enemies. So I think KO and Sami are going to go over, but I say look out for some interference by Solo and somebody to come out and help neutralize the threat of Solo Sikoa.
all right, Dustin.
I think either way, you book yourself into a corner with this one. If Sami and Kevin don't win, everyone could immediately turn on fucking Cody and say fuck him.
Yeah.
Where on the other hand, if Sami and Kevin do end up winning, then Roman ends up retaining as well. It's going to be like, oh, fuck Roman. which it's already like that, but it's going to be worse again, like when he beat Taker at 33.
Mhm.
But if I had to pick, I honestly want to see the Usos retain.
Okay. Ian?
I mean,
Alex, did you go yet or no?
yeah, Alex went first.
Okay.
No, so this one, oh man, I mean this has to be the main event of night one. I feel like because there have been times where we've had main events strictly as main events because it's the Royal Rumble winner, but storyline it made no sense to go last, especially like in hindsight, WrestleMania 25. Yeah, the build was there for Orton and Triple H, but it was such a letdown where we could have had Taker Michaels, and obviously they made it right the next year, which, I feel like started a trend where you have to go with the best story to end the night. And I feel like the bloodline has to end both nights here. But I mean, Sammy's been the hottest thing in WWE for the last 8 months. He was really only supposed to be part of the bloodline for 3 weeks. And because of the reception he got, it turned into this 8-month story of fantastic build. And I'll be honest, this bloodline story since Sami Zayn hopped in has got to be one of the best storylines WWE has put out in a very long time, top to bottom. With that said, it's time. I really do feel like it's time for a new change. Supposedly there's supposed to be new tag team championship belts coming because Triple H doesn't like the way that the current ones look. Hell, I don't either. I just feel like they're just carrying around nickels on a piece of fruit roll-up. But I mean, end of the day, if you're gonna do anything new, WrestleMania is the time. I understand a lot of people see Mania as the end-all be-all. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I feel like for this storyline, at least for this part, it has to be the end. Give me KO and Sami Zayn. Give them the feel-good moment to go home and party into Sunday morning with.
Awesome.
I also feel like I was going to mention too. I also feel like I feel like they have to kind of make up for what they did in to Sammy when in his hometown. I feel like so. They'd also have to give him the belts, right?
I agree. I think we can all agree though that we all knew going into that Sammy was not winning in his hometown, especially after the Montreal screw job. There, WWE is not apt to making the person from the hometown leave. So I'm going to unpack this a little bit. You guys know that the Bloodline storyline, in my humble opinion, has been one of the best storylines in wrestling, period, for a very long time. And I watch other organizations as well. There's been some decent storylines around. I will not knock a company based on a wrestler or a storyline. WWE has had their fair share of really bad characters, Gobbledygooker and Bastion Booger, and like we can go on for days about some of the shitty characters. Doink spending the entire or Steve Kern, who was playing Doink, spending the entire pay-per-view under the ring to come up for one match at the end. Like they've had some seriously bad storylines. Then you see what's happening with the bloodline to me isn't, and I've voiced this to you guys before, isn't a storyline. It's a series. It's like watching River Wild. It's a series of tributary rivers coming in and merging as one, making one. So there's all these stories coming in. Solo's got his own story. Kevin Owens has his own story. It's Kevin Owens and Sammy having their thing. Yes, their rivalry is something different, but it's ladders into the storyline of the bloodline. Roman's issues with Jay, Jay's issues with Jimmy, Jimmy's issues with Sammy, Jay's issues with Sammy. Like there's the Paul Heyman factor. Like there's so much involved here. So when you look at this storyline, I think it was James that was saying it. They need to capitalize on. Sorry, I shouldn't say they need to. It would be best for business if they capitalize on Sami Zayn's popularity right now, like they did with Daniel Bryan. Batista was scheduled to win the heavyweight title at WrestleMania that year that he won the Battle Royal, and we all know what happened, right? He got pissed off and left, but because Daniel Bryan had the popularity, he won the triple threat. Call it a day. Unfortunately, that's just the way business works. If something is better, they go with that with that option. I think the best option right now is to go with with Sami Zayn and Kevin getting the nudge on this one. That's my personal pick. That being said, the Usos are one hell of a tag team. They've had an amazing run, but I think it's, as Ian had mentioned, the time has come. They've been a power source for the past 3 years or 2 years, whatever it's been. Yeah, it's been 3 years, almost 3 years. They've been untouchable. Like, someone comes out and they're all over it. It's kind of like, if the Judgment Day was built properly, they would be the same thing, right? But they have been towards Edge and Beth a little bit. But I know Edge and Beth got the tag team win, but pretty much every other time that they've gotten together, Edge has been laid out. So we've got a really decent storyline that's not coming to an end. It's just coming to a point where we're going to see some title changes, and I'll leave the title changes for another part. But I think at this point in time, this particular tributary of the storyline, the Usos are dropping the titles to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
All right.
It's going to be probably match of the night for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, if this isn't match of the night, then they've severely underdone themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, the Usos, like them or hate them, they've become one of the best tag teams of this generation.
Yeah, I think the two standout matches for me, and I really hate to say the second one, but it'll be the Usos and Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn for the top match of the night, and the second one will be Logan Paul and Seth Rollins.
Yep.
I think eventually Jay and Roman might have a match at SummerSlam. I think
it's possible. All right, so that's night. We've all gone, so that's night one. Do you guys want to move on to night two?
I'm down.
You're in. All right. We started the last one with the men's tag team match. Why don't we start this one with the men's?
Before we do, I'd like to revisit one thing. During because the Andre Battle Royal is going on right now, the Maximum Male models turned on Otis.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
that's
like they went up and did their little signature taunt they do or whatever, and when Otis tried to join them, they grabbed him and tried to throw him over the ropes.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
They didn't eliminate him, but they tried to.
Interesting.
That still does not change my pick whatsoever.
Yeah, it wouldn't change mine either, but interesting.
Man, it's a shame that LA Knight's not a match at Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we all have different opinions on him. I actually really enjoyed his work in Impact, but it's just a shame how he's been used. But
I gotta say though, I'm happy that Lashley doesn't have a match simply because if y'all remember, the original idea was for him to face Bray at WrestleMania, and that was a match that I was not looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it sucks he doesn't have a match, but it would be better because Bray's match with LA Knight, as much as I was happy to see Wyatt back, Bray's match with LA Knight was garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't great. The Mountain Dew pitch something. Yeah,
pitch black match, which was
terrible.
essentially just a match with black lights.
Yeah, it was terrible. I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, on to night two.
Yeah, so we've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Shotzi, and versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
I'll kick this one off because this is one that I unfortunately I feel like I know who's going to win it, and it's very unfortunate. I can already tell you Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville are just there because they couldn't find anybody else. They have no chance in hell of winning that match, in my opinion. I don't see Natalya and Shotzi because even though Natalya is still a very good technician, she's past her prime. I think they're just there again. I think they're also just a filler team. As much as I hate to say it, I really think that Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey are going to win this match. I'm hoping for Liv and Raquel to win it. But if I have to guess, I really do think that Shayna and Ronda are winning this one.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, honestly, Ronda and Baszler. Next.
I'll make this quick. Same thing I said about the men's. The winner doesn't get shit. I could care less.
So
Yeah, I mean, for me, they've been building Ronda and Shayna up. It'd be stupid for them to go any other way.
Until they build those two up to have a match, I could care less about what those two are doing. I feel like those two in a match would completely blow everything out of the water.
So you're thinking Ronda and Baszler as well, Dustin?
Hopefully it leads to a match between them two, but yes, I could care less otherwise, though.
Okay.
I think that probably most matches.
Sorry, you were cutting out.
I said I think that they'll probably win the award for most disappointing match of the night. But I think Ronda and Shayna Baszler are probably going to win that one.
Okay. I'm going to unpack this a little bit more than you guys did. I realize it's probably not going to be the match of the night. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, I fully agree. They're in there for just because they need to fill a spot. Chelsea Green, I think I'm not a fan of her gimmick at all. She's better than that, and Sonya Deville is way past where she needs to be. Similar with Natalya. I feel like Natalya is just there at this point too. She's like the only remaining person on the roster that's as senior as she is. I think she's strictly there to help the younger people. I really feel bad for Shotzi because that team's not going to win. And Shotzi, I really like Shotzi. She's a really decent performer, even though she botched a few times in the match she had with Ronda Rousey. But we all know very difficult to carry on a match with Ronda Rousey because frankly she can't wrestle for shit. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv, I know we all have a soft spot for Liv, sorry, but I don't think that team's winning. As much as I really want to like Raquel, she smiles a little bit too much for my liking. But that's got nothing to do with them not winning or not. Ronda Rousey is a powerhouse in herself when it comes to just presence in the ring and muscle. Again, she can't wrestle. She botches everything, and I can't get past the fact she keeps pulling up her trunks. Like, change your fucking wrestling attire if you can't wear them properly. But Shayna Baszler, I feel has been misused from the time she was brought up. Except for when she was first brought up. That woman can go. Like, she is fucking talented. Like, she should have had a decent run with the women's title at this point. If they don't have Shayna Baszler, sorry,
they're running out of time with Shayna because Shayna's already 42, about to be 43.
Yeah, I think she's still got some time to go though. She's in amazing shape, but I think this is going to Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. But I think it was Dustin that said this. I want to see them two face off.
Yeah.
So I'm giving this one to Ronda and Shayna.
Yeah, me and my little brother, we did a fantasy booking of how we would book the WrestleMania post-Royal Rumble, and we had Ronda versus Shayna. So
nice.
It's a little disturbing that we're not getting that yet. Maybe we'll get it at SummerSlam in Detroit.
Yep.
Before we go to the next match, Bobby Lashley won the Andre Battle Royal.
Nice.
Honestly, is anybody surprised by it?
I'm not.
No.
Was it a decent match at least, or?
Yeah, it was. It came down to Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed eliminated Strowman. Almost eliminated Lashley, but Lashley hopped back in the ring and hit him with a spear and threw him out of the ring.
Yeah, that'll do it. I was going to say, you two still have to give your predictions too, by the way, before we move on.
Who?
Who?
Or did I miss y'all?
I think you did.
I gave mine.
Everybody's on Ronda and Shayna, right?
I think.
Yeah, I'm Ronda and Shayna.
Alex, did you go?
Yeah, I went with Ronda and Shayna Baszler.
Okay, so we're all on Ronda Shayna.
We're all, yeah. I think
What happened to Dustin?
He's here. He just glitched
He
out
can't-
because again he's got the storms
Yeah,
going.
he's-
There
I
he
mean,
is.
guys. When you turn your camera off in this thing, it gets rid of you. So like this. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next one.
Much, man. I'm still hungover.
Just open another beer.
Hey, I only do hard liquor.
Okay, go drink from the bottle.
As you guys know, I'm a big Brock
Not
Lesnar
you.
fan. I've been a Brock Lesnar fan from day one. Love the guy. I think he puts on some amazing matches. I think he gets some undeservedly hate because of the way he wrestles. But that's the way he's been booked. He's been booked to go in there and just destroy shit. I think the match he had with Cena where he did like, what was it, 30 some odd German suplexes?
17, I believe.
17. Like,
16.
it was awesome. It was awesome. Like he literally walked in there, destroyed him, and pinned him and left and won the title. Like it was just amazing. For the first time ever, I can say I'm not looking forward to this match. But that being said,
Hey, you said that before.
I did.
That
No,
was with his...
sorry. When I say for the first time ever, I meant for the first time in my history of liking Brock Lesnar matches. I'm not looking forward to this match.
No, you said that before. You said that was his match with Ambrose at 32.
Okay, that was 7 years ago. Give him a break.
Okay. Second time. Because you're right. I remember that now. I'm not a fan of Ambrose as well. Moxley. But that was a decent match. It was okay. I shouldn't say decent. It was okay.
For a street fight, it was shit.
What's that?
For the street fight, it was absolutely garbage.
That's what I'm talking about. It was just okay. And that's where, unfortunately, that type of match is where Moxley thrives. If there's blood, guts, some kind of violence, he does well. If you're into that shit, I don't think you need to do that just to I mean, you look at a guy like Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley. 90% of his matches where he was busted open or fucking thrown off a Hell in a Cell, but the rest of the match was still decent. I've just never been a fan of Moxley's work. That being said, getting back to this match, I think Omos has been put in a position where this is a guy that's been trained by some pretty talented people, just not a great wrestler. However, I saw a post in another group over the last couple of days that made me, I don't want to say rethink things, but just look at things a little bit differently. And what it said was WWE changed their name from WWF, World Wrestling Federation, to WWE. Now, and we all know it was because of a lawsuit with the World Wildlife Fund, but they changed it to Entertainment back in 2002, I believe. 2003.
Yep, get the F out.
And when they did that, they concentrated more on promo. Like you'll notice it was around that time when the matches started getting a little bit shorter and the promo started getting a little bit longer. And you were not brought up from developmental if you couldn't cut a promo. And if you couldn't cut a promo like Brock Lesnar, you were given somebody like Paul Heyman to be a manager. There's a lot less managers than there are now than there were back then. So there were guys brought in like Khali, like Giant Gonzalez, like the Big Show, who were brought in basically just to squash, just to put on that I'm going to beat the guy down match. And that's exactly how they've used Omos. Yeah, he can't wrestle very well. He can't cut a promo very well, but he can go in there, look tough. He's 7'4". Like, I mean, when you saw him, I didn't believe at first he was 7'4". But you see him standing right up against Brock Lesnar, and he's a good head and a half taller than Brock. And Brock's not a little boy, right? So you see these two guys standing side to side, and you're like, can Brock even lift this guy into an F5? I think the answer is yes. He lifted Big Show, who I believe was heavier than Omos.
By about 50 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, by about 50 pounds. Can he get him up into a German suplex? The answer is yes, because he did it to the Big Show. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Omos is in much better shape than Big Show was in his WWE tenure. I think when Big Show was when Paul White was in WCW, he was in much better shape. He was used to do drop kicks and all kinds of stuff. But he was also told to tone down that stuff when he got to WWE. So, which I believe, Dustin, you and I had that conversation a while back. He wasn't used the same because he was asked not to use to do that kind of stuff. So I don't think this match is going to be as bad as we all think it's going to be, but I still don't think it's going to be match of the night. I venture to say Brock is a businessman. He does what's best for business. I think as much as I hate to say this, he's gonna put Omos over on this one.
You have Omos winning.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have to add on to something that you said, Craig, when you said that Omos is head and shoulders taller than Lesnar. To put in retrospect just how big he is, Braun Strowman is 6'8". At least that's how they build him. And if you recall, when Braun and Omos had their match, Braun had to look up at him when they were standing toe to toe.
Yep.
Like Omos was head and shoulders taller than Braun, and Braun's bigger than Brock.
Braun is bigger than Braun is taller than Brock. Yes.
It's going to boil down to, like you said, Brock Lesnar is a businessman. He's just like the Undertaker. He's a yes man. Whatever they tell him they want to do, he's going to go with it. That's part of why Taker was so successful, because anytime Vince was like, "Hey, we're going to have you do this," Taker was like, "Okay, let's go." But with that being said, Brock is, from what I'm hearing, I've been hearing a lot of rumors. I don't know if there's any validation or if it's just fan theory. But just like with Roman, there's a lot of talk that Brock is going to take time off from WWE after WrestleMania. If that's true, it would be the perfect time to try to put over Omos, because let's be honest, outside of Braun Strowman, I don't remember Omos ever really having a fucking real decent opponent. Every time I see him wrestle on Raw, he's usually facing 3 or 4 nobodies that are just local performers. So if there's ever a time to get to try and put Omos over, it would be against Brock Lesnar, and I hate that because I genuinely believe that Brock Lesnar should win this match, but I got to go with Omos as much as I hate it.
I think there was a time when Omos fought, or at least maybe I'm imagining, because I believe Omos was the bodyguard for the Raw Underground, but wasn't was it Colonel Aziz? He's the other big guy that was in there.
Commander Aziz.
Commander Aziz. He was in he's in NXT now. Who just he's kind of been playing Apollo Cruz's sort of henchman when he was still on the main roster. I'm not sure what he's been doing since he's been down in NXT, because I frankly haven't been following Commander Aziz. But he would be a good person to come up and challenge Omos. But anyway, getting back to it, let's move on to Alex. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I was talking about this in the group chat. I mean, I don't know how a guy like Omos is gonna have a match with a star like Brock Lesnar. I don't know what he did to deserve a match with Brock Lesnar, but I think Omos is probably gonna get put over, to be honest with you.
Okay, Dustin.
Okay, I've said this before. Brock gets to choose what he wants pretty much. And if he wants to do this, they pretty much let him do it. And going on the fact that James, you said, it was James or Craig that said you don't recall a match where Omos has had with a big name superstar?
It was me.
Did you not watch Mania last year? He had a match with Lashley.
But you know what I mean, though. He's had big matches, but for the most part, all of his matches are against local talent that he squashes easily.
Okay, and look at the names of other giant superstars. Khali, mainly fucking face talent until he destroyed The Undertaker. Big Show, no jobber guys. Strowman when he first started, jobber guys.
Yeah, true.
But I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. Omos is going over.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to know that it took all y'all longer than that match is going to last.
Yeah.
The way I see it, if
mine
this
was
match
probably
goes
about as long as the match is.
No, if this match goes longer than the 7 minutes that it took the 4 of y'all to pick the wrong person to win, then there's problems. Because I'm sorry, I look at Omos, I still can't see it. Shoot, you want to book the worst match ever? Give me Omos versus Khali in a Punjabi prison match.
That would be a shitty match.
But we'd sit there and laugh at it. But the thing is, the way I see it, I've always seen this match as being another one of those WrestleMania moments. The way I see it, this is going to be like Brock Lesnar F5ing that shark for SummerSlam. Because they keep advertising, oh, he's 400 pounds. He's 7'4". What is Brock going to do? He's going to lift him and throw him like he's a piece of confetti. And Omos isn't going to be able to do anything because once he's down, he doesn't get up. His body, I don't know what it is, but it seems like his body fails him after a good 5-6 minutes. I understand we want him to get the rub here, but no, this ain't it. Lesnar's going into business for himself. We get to see Lesnar F5 a freaking, coconut tree, and we move on.
You know what, Ian? I honestly, I'm hoping that I am wrong on this.
I am too, but
because I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan. I know I've taken heat from you guys for years. I've got 3 of his shirts, the Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat one. I'm a big fan. I just think that Omos, they think really highly of Omos right now, and it would kind of derail his momentum if he got the loss. That being said, Brock's leaving for a bit, so at least that's what the rumor is. So I think it's going to Omos, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last time we heard that Lesnar was leaving was the main event of 34, and look what happened.
He left and came back after the UFC match where he tested positive for steroids.
Yep.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
But anyways,
all right, let's move on to the next one. I've got the last 4 matches in a specific order, and I did that reason because we've actually got all 5 here, which I think is really cool. I think the way I've got this sort of set up is I don't want to. I can see where the conversation is going to go. So the next match I've got.
Before we start, if you don't mind, I just want to quick comment for anybody that's watching this stream that enjoys video games. WWE 2K23 is, in my opinion, one of the best wrestling games they've released in a long time. The John Cena Showcase mode is incredible. The My Rise mode is incredible. The gameplay is just fluid. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. This, in my opinion, this is the best game we've had since 2K14 when you had the Undertaker beat the streak mode.
That's a bold statement.
That is.
For those of us that actually work for a living, we might get on that later on in life. No, I'm just giving you a hard time. No,
either that or you don't have kids to take care of and you just blow your money on video games like I do.
If you don't have a new career budding in a different field too,
this is also how long you know each other. Also, if you didn't go into the hospital every fucking week and a half for kidney stones, you may have more money too.
He's got a point. He's got a point, Ian. You're passing like 6 of those bitches a month at this point.
Hey, get it right. It's once every 3 months.
That's so much better.
Actually, so I'm actually getting a lot better at it, and they said that if everything holds off, I am due for one major surgery, which will have me in the hospital for about 3-4 days, but it's going to clear out all the scar tissue. But the doctors are saying everything is trending better for that. So
good.
All right, let's keep this going. So the next match I have up is the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. I'd like to go first on this one. Again, I want to preface this by saying I'm not a fan of Bianca Belair's gimmick, but I will never take away the fact that she's an awesome performer. She deserves to be where she is. She her match has been groundbreaking. I truly believe that she is the future of the division. That being said, she's going down. Asuka's taken this. Asuka's had a heck of a year, or a heck of a few months since she's been back. Since she switched. The face paint changed, the attitude changed. I think this is Asuka's time. And I think the reason why my sort of thought process behind this is they're going to give this one to Asuka. but it's not going to be a long title reign because Bianca's going to get it back. And I think
So just a break in the action type of thing.
Yeah, I think they're because Bianca's held. She won the title last year at Mania, correct?
Yep,
Yeah.
Mania to Mania.
So I
And
think
she's currently 2-0 at Mania.
yeah. So I think that she's going to lose to Asuka. I don't think Asuka's going to have a very long run. Like I'm not saying it's going to be one night or 1 month, but I think Bianca's going to get that title back. It might not be next. She may not be the one that beats Asuka, but she's going to get it back. Or she might move on to SmackDown during the draft and challenge Rhea. I don't know. I would like to see that happen because, frankly, Bianca Rhea would be a pretty amazing match. Because of they both have a very muscular stature. I think that'd be a good pairing. But I think my vote's going behind Asuka on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a. I think, and I mentioned this earlier, and you told me to hold off until we talk about the match. This is one of the only matches on the card. If I'm not mistaken, it's the only match on the card where both parties are technically faces. So I think that Asuka's going to go over against Bianca. And I think Bianca, like Asuka's going to try to shake her hand or fist bump her, just a sign of sportsmanship. And I feel like Bianca is going to turn on Asuka and attack her. Because I'm with you, Craig. You cannot deny Bianca's in-ring ability. She is one of the best performers on the roster. It's just the skipping and the twirling the braid. It doesn't do it for me. But that being said, and Asuka, and for all we know, Asuka could only hold it to the next pay-per-view. Like she could lose it at WrestleMania Backlash. But I do see Asuka winning this match and putting Belair over. Putting Asuka over. My bad.
Okay. She's 2-0 at WrestleMania. She has main evented in both, and she's won titles in both. And the more that I've looked at this, Asuka's great. I love this Kana reform that she has done. But what direction is there for Asuka if she does win the title? Outside of just getting it off of Bianca for a month, I don't see any valid reason for Asuka to win here. As great as of a run as she has had, I can't sit here and say that I could justify Asuka winning here. But this is also me saying that they may be trying to push Bianca to have a little bit of a streak herself. Not saying it's going to get to Undertaker proportions, because Lord help me if it does. That's absurdity. But like you guys have said, outside of the gimmick, you cannot deny in the ring, she is a star. She is fantastic. And like I was mentioning earlier, her and Rhea are leading the new generation. I see them keeping it on her here. I've got Bianca winning. You two are just staring up at Craig on my screen, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think I like what Craig said about Asuka. I think I like Asuka's new face paint that she kind of brought back at the Rumble. This like new kind of scary looking Asuka that she kind of has going on. But I think I said it in the group chat. I think all the championships are changing at Mania except for maybe the IC title and the US. So I'm gonna go with Asuka on that one.
All right, Dustin, where are you falling on this?
All right, so this one's gonna be a little bit of a longer spiel. I do agree with everyone else. Bianca's in-ring work is fucking solid, but her gimmick and mic work is absolutely dog piss. But with the role Asuka's been on, I'm going with Asuka. Just you go ahead, write that down. I don't see them cutting her momentum short like they did with her and Charlotte 5 years ago. And I see if somehow she does end up losing, I do see her going over to the draft, and it's going to be her and Rhea going for the SmackDown Women's title for a bit.
And I think that would be something new.
Yeah,
I think
and as I was saying, that when I was giving my little spiel, that would also give, they could go back and forth. I don't think Rhea's going to be she'll be a dominant champion, but it may give Bianca also a chance to win the SmackDown title, which I don't believe she's had. So she'd be a double crown champion, right?
she did at 37.
37? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, she beat Sasha for it.
Right. Okay. Right.
Before we move on to the next match, Rey Legado del Fantasma came out to Rey Mysterio and told him that if Judgment Day tries to use the numbers game at WrestleMania, that they're going to come out and help Rey. And Rey gave them all T-shirts and reformed the Latino World Order.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
He's riding off Eddie's coattails still.
I saw rumors about the LWO making a reform. I didn't want to say anything until I actually saw it, but
that's amazing.
Now the whole Santos Escobar thing.
I wonder when the Blue World Order is going to make its return.
Hey,
they gotta have Blue Batista.
As the big guy in the group, it's all for nothing.
Go get the Blue Meanie back, huh?
No, you need Otis to replace him.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
So what's the next match?
All right. So the next one, this one's gonna be a banger in my opinion, but I wanted to do this one next before I got to the last two. Is the Hell in the Cell match between Edge and Finn Balor. Now we all know that Finn Balor is showing up as a demon. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to do this one first.
All right.
Edge is coming out with his Brood, most likely coming out with the Brood sort of entrance. But it's been rumored that because I really haven't seen any, and I'm sure there's probably a contract between the two or whatever, but the blessing that Tony Khan has given Christian. But there's rumor that Tony Khan has given Christian the blessing to show up at Mania to be in Edge's corner, and obviously Gangrel as well. So I believe the entire Brood will be at Mania to even the numbers out. I believe there's going to be the bloodbath. There's going to be fucking everything. It's going to be a complete Brood entrance with the Brood music. I think it's going to be and he'll come out second because Demon will, he'll take his 20 minutes to get down to the ring, and I'm just going to do his Brood entrance, and it's going to be, we're all going to flip out because when we see it, and I hope I'm not setting myself up for disappointment here because I haven't even told you who I think is going to win, but we're going to have a hell of an entrance. I believe there's going to be some form of interference. Sorry?
Hell of a match.
Hell of a match. Yeah. There's going to be, and I didn't even realize I did.
Dustin just got that.
I didn't even realize I hit that pun. But anyway, thanks for pointing that out, Ian.
You're welcome.
But the winning part here is the toughest part for me. I think the excitement behind this match is bigger to me than the winner, and the reason why is neither person needs it, in my opinion. And I keep saying in my opinion because frankly, that's what we're all doing. We're all giving our opinions because we don't know who's going to win the matches. Even when it comes down to the Universal Champion, we don't know that they're going to, as much as it's all rumored. So my take is Edge doesn't need the win. Finn Balor doesn't need the win, especially as a demon. Okay. But the demon has lost, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, only twice. Once he lost to
It was only to Roman.
Didn't he lose to someone else as well? I believe he lost to Samoa Joe, I believe it was.
Let me look into that quick.
Look into it, please. I believe it's only been twice: Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns.
I thought he lost to AJ at Survivor Series too.
Yeah, he did. If I'm not mistaken,
demon there. He was just regular Finn.
Oh yeah, that is right. Yeah, it's only been Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns.
Please
and Samoa Joe was on NXT.
Right. So again, as the demon, I believe he's only lost twice on a pay-per-view. Again, I could be wrong. I know I 100% know it's one. It was Roman, but and I've always said that as that character, it's kind of like.
Didn't he have a match with Bray or something, and he lost too?
But I don't believe he was the demon.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Yeah, he came out in all white, and that was the debut.
No, he was supposed to have him to bring at Survivor Series, but He was supposed to have a
Anyways.
match with Bray at Survivor Series, and it got replaced with AJ.
Yeah,
Because of the whole
So-
mumps outbreak or whatever.
right. So I think
Sorry, Craig, for
I think what's going to end up happening is, so Finn's going to come out. He's lost twice as the Demon, but because of all the Judgment Day stuff, I think people have pretty much forgotten about the fact he's lost a couple times, or at least the casual fan. Edge has been, and I know Dustin, you had some takeaways on this. That him and Beth won the last get together, get the match. I think Edge is going to win this one. He's been getting his ass kicked quite a bit. Every time he comes to the ring, these guys come up and they gang up on him. They beat him down. I believe that this storyline is about to end, and I think Edge is going over. That being said, this is one of those matches where I don't care who wins because it's going to be a fucking banger. I think we're all going to enjoy it regardless of who wins. This could potentially be, I don't want to say match of the night, but extremely entertaining and probably the most entertaining match of the night. I'll leave it at that. So I've got Edge going over.
All right. Kind of going back on what Craig said a bit. I've been going back and looking at stuff recently as well. If Edge really does want to get back to the top one more time before he's done, Edge does need to win this match. But here's what I don't know why they didn't, like, I understand have the Bloodline main event both nights. I don't see why they don't have this main event night one. Because I feel like it's more than worthy, no offense, over a tag team match to make a Hell in a Cell match and main event over a tag match. Especially with all the surprises that they're supposedly going to have with it. And also, I know it's Mania, they're going to have people working quick, but if there's an actual bloodbath, like, it's going to take them fucking forever to replace that fucking canvas anyway.
Yeah, that there is, but I also feel like the fact that there's only 6 matches on night 2, I feel like there's something coming in night 2 that we just don't see coming, and there's going to be an extended little break after the Edge and Finn match for them to go in, switch out the canvas, and go again.
Yeah, it's going to probably be the fucking Rock. It's in Hollywood.
Yeah,
But
it's 6 matches on night 2, 7 matches on night 1. So they got time.
It's a little crazy to me.
See,
go ahead.
This match is, I'll be honest with you, and I've been vocal about this in the group. This match is the one I'm looking forward to the most because, as you guys know, Hell in a Cell is my favorite gimmick match. So, that being said, I got to agree with Craig. Neither one of these men needs to win more than the other.
But if Edge wants to get back to the top before he retires, and he said he wasted a year with these fucking dumbasses.
Yep, that was going to be my next point. Like you pointed out, Dustin, if he does want to get back to the top one more time, at least not necessarily actually win the title, but if he wants to be the next in line for
a title one more time,
yeah, then he's got to win this match if he wants to do that. But it also goes back to, are we going to see Christian and Gangrel pop up? Because if not,
Gangrel for sure. Christian's probably still in uncertainty.
Gangrel for sure, 100%. Gangrel's not.
They've got to, because they're going to have to even odds. Because just hypothetically, if they don't pop up, then Gangrel, if Gangrel and Christian don't, come out and help Edge, then fucking Judgment Day is going to team up against Edge. Now, I'm going to say one more thing before I give my official pick on this match.
I got one more thing to say as well, but go ahead.
I was going to say, Dustin never gave us his part.
Oh, yeah.
You just kind of hopped in, so.
My bad. I thought I heard a pause and I thought he was done. I apologize for that.
He was inhaling.
Who all watched the WrestleMania stage review? I want to point something out.
All right.
Who all watched it?
I didn't.
The stage review?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you, Ian?
Dude, I'm trying to keep it a surprise.
All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. So, if you want to pull it up on YouTube right now and watch it.
No.
All right. So, if you notice on the stage, there is 3 fucking separate holes for people to come out of.
Oh, is there?
Yes. So there's 1 in the middle, then there's 2 in the back. And I'm sorry I'm talking about different holes to come out of Ian, but okay. For anyone who don't know, this is a running gag we have going on in the group that Ian likes taking things in different holes. But anyway, I digress here. Let's go to something else. I think if we do have all 3 of them, we're gonna see Gangrel and Christian pop out of the back hole. Of course, Christian takes the back route because he's a creepy little bastard. But yes, I'm throwing that back here. We see Edge come out in the front, and I think that's how we're gonna get the Brooders. I don't think they're all gonna come in together. I think each one's gonna have their own separate pop, and then Edge is gonna come out. But what I was gonna say, if neither of those 2 help Edge, Orton has been cleared to come back.
Rated
Orton could be
RKO.
the one to save Edge if they don't have anything for him.
That's correct.
I think Randy I think Randy's gonna do something else, but
I do too, but I'm saving that for the end.
No,
So
yeah.
but
let's get back to this. Dustin, who are you picking?
I said earlier Edge. I said
I
that
didn't
before
hear
James fucking cut me off.
All right. Let's go back. Let's go back to James before we move on to Alex and Ian.
All right. But my final point is Edge has not just confirmed it, but there has been strong hints, and Edge has kind of made it clear that when WWE goes to Ontario this year, that he's calling it quits after that. So, with that being said, I think if history dictates 9 times out of 10, a wrestler loses their retirement match. And with this, if this is Edge's last WrestleMania, I see him putting Finn Balor over. So my official prediction is Finn Balor.
Wow. Okay.
Sure.
Edge is Craig's only going with Edge because he's Canadian, but that's also besides the point.
No. That's not the reason. That's not the reason.
I'm dead.
Truth be told, when they first debuted as themselves, I wasn't a huge fan. It was when they joined the Brood that, and I will stand by this, still my favorite theme music of all time is the Brood entrance music. You're sitting there rocking out the whole time. Like it has such an amazing beat. That's when I actually started liking. And funny enough, I liked Gangrel better than the other 2, but that's when I started liking them. And to be honest with you, Edge grew up half an hour north of where I lived at the time. So,
There you go.
yeah.
All right,
I still
Alex.
remember Edge's first match too when he knocked out D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
All right, Alex.
All right, Alex.
Yeah, just a quick to Dustin's back to the 3 holes that he said. I didn't know that there was that I didn't see that on the stage reveal, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, go back and watch. You see a circle, then on the back you see 2 like little rectangle cutouts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back because that's interesting. But yeah, no, I think I forgot who was the one that had brought it up first about Christian, but I would really love if AEW let Christian do this one thing with Edge and Gangrel, for the entrance, or if they help out Edge if Judgment Day interfere. But this one's kind of a hard to choose because I feel like both of them can't really take a loss, But if I do have to pick one, and I probably have to go with probably with Edge, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the only caveat behind this whole thing is the ongoing bitchiness of Tony Khan and some of his comments, and I think there's been some lawsuits, or at least some threatened lawsuits, where I don't completely believe he will let Christian go, but that's just me being a bit cynical. Will it happen?
I feel like WWE doesn't really see them as like competition, or they don't, or like even as a threat. But I feel like Tony Khan does,
Oh yeah, Tony Khan. I mean, he wants to be number one, right? I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Could it happen? never say never, man. I mean, WCW almost put WWE out of business, WWF out of business, right? So we can never say never. And at the end of the day, AEW does have a good product. They've had some shitty booking, some shitty shows, but so has WWE, right? And they've got a new show that started. I haven't seen it, but it's gotten pretty much rave reviews. So people are seeing. I believe it's called something All Access or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically it's going to put AEW in a different light. And I believe I read something from Mick Foley actually that he said that he's really impressed by how it turned out. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing it. So I think they could be a contender. They definitely are another. I always look at it as I love competition because it gives me, a wrestling fan, another avenue. Like I've got 5 nights of wrestling to watch now a week, right? If there's a pay-per-view, I've got 6 nights a week. If it's WrestleMania week, I got 7 nights a week, right? Like it's just there's something every night to watch. You got WWE on Monday, WWE or NXT on Tuesday, AEW on Wednesday, SmackDown on Friday. You got New Japan on Thursday. WrestleMania
and
week,
also Impact on Thursday.
Impact on Thursday. Yeah, like there's something to watch every day of the week. Except and when there's nothing on, you watch WWE. Their network, right? So, it really is. It's a decent time to be a fan, and frankly, it always has been. It's just been evolving, but. I think will it happen? Will they let Christian come over? I don't know. I'd like it to. I don't think this is considered like a forbidden door because it's not one versus the other. It's more of him just showing up to be by his buddy's side. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I wish it does, but even if, to be honest, even if it's just Gangrel, I think it'll still be a banger.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to see that entrance. I'm excited to see.
I know we're all expecting it. I mean, like, but it will be cool to mention that Gangrel is in LA. I don't know if you guys saw the something on. So.
Oh yeah, no.
I think he's a lock.
He's a lock.
Oh yeah.
Whether Christian's gonna be there.
This is something that Alex has been kind of heavy on, but I think they just told us what version of the Demon's going to be at the Hell in the Cell.
What?
They just showed the little picture of Edge versus Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And Finn's got on the regular Demon face paint.
Yeah,
I mean, at least it's not the pumpkin patch Finn Balor that we were going to get that one time.
Right.
So
I want a purple Demon Balor, but that's just me.
Well, it could happen. You never know. Like, I mean, the only ones we have, the only visuals we have are slightly differences, variances of the same demon, right? We've never seen a purple demon before, so it may happen.
Yeah. And,
I just say that because it matches the Judgment Day,
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to remember his ring attire was black trunks, black short trunks, and a few times he showed up in white, I think, and sometimes in red, and I think a couple times in blue. Last week he was in like sequin friggin' long trunks. Like it's just like things have changed, right? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
No, y'all are good. Y'all are good. So it's been fun hearing other people
Just
talk about it.
Quick thing to throw on the Purple Demon. Craig, Alex, I know you're big into vinyl shit, so you guys may be able to answer this. Prince is technically from Detroit, isn't he? Or is he from Michigan?
Who is?
Prince, he's just from Michigan. He's not from Detroit, though, I don't think.
But if
Prince is from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh, Detroit. Yeah.
I thought he was from Detroit for some reason. I can say, if anything, we're going to see a fucking Purple Demon at fucking Detroit and SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota. He's Lake Minnetonka, the whole thing. Yeah, it's Minnesota.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll make mine short and sweet. I've got Edge. I feel like it's just...
Craig, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Craig, I didn't know you were... are you into, like, vinyl records?
Yeah, I used to DJ.
Oh, really? Yeah. We'll have to have a talk, like, unrelated to wrestling.
Right.
Man, you about to scratch my record over here. I tell you what, man. but no, I mean, I'll make mine short and sweet. I've got Edge winning, but I also feel like WrestleMania will actually be the end of the Judgment Day, or it's coming very, very soon. Because Rhea Ripley, with her winning the title, she don't need it. Finn has never needed this group. The only one that needed it was Dom.
Priest
if
needed
he's-
it too.
Well,
Priest needed
Priest not so much. I mean,
Priest
he
needed
did-
it more than Finn.
yes, but Priest can still carry on his own.
Cody Rhodes is coming out.
Ooh, good for him. But yeah, no, I honestly feel like this is the end of the road for it because Rhea's just gonna go. Dom's gonna be his little prison bitch. Let Damian run for a mid card title, and Finn. We all know what Finn can do on his own. But I feel like
Yeah,
Rhea's
get hurt
gonna
at
eventually
SummerSlam.
split, and it's just gonna be the dissension. You know, I'm giving this one to Edge. Oh God, I pissed off Craig. Oh, there he is.
No, I'm good.
He had to go run and scream and come back. But yeah, so I mean, we got 2 more matches to go. The next one is what
Man, that-
honestly.
That Woe and
So
Cody Rhodes theme song is gonna be crazy at WrestleMania.
So yeah, the next match I've got, obviously we're saving the main one for last.
Yep.
The Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther, champion, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. I'm not going to go first on this one.
I will.
Yeah, go ahead, Dustin.
I'll keep it short and sweet. The match is probably going to be fucking 5 stars. We all know how these 3 can work. But with as much shit as they've been giving Sheamus lately, he really needs this. Plus, he'd become a Grand Slam champion if he wins it. Give it to Sheamus.
I can go next on this. This one.
Go ahead.
Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think the only titles that won't be changing, I think, are the US and IC titles. So I have to go with Gunther on that one. I honestly think Gunther is probably gonna hold it till maybe till SummerSlam. I think maybe.
Let's say it is Mania.
What was
Which would
that?
be next
Summer.
year.
He said summer.
No, he said hold it till Mania or SummerSlam.
Oh well, I think he's gonna hold it till at least SummerSlam, till this year's SummerSlam.
Yeah.
See,
Honestly, I think they're building up Gunther to be like a big star, you know, like World Heavyweight Championship caliber.
As they should.
Yep, as they definitely should. James, go ahead, bud.
I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet on this too. Like Dustin said, all 3 men are capable of putting on 5-star matches. All 3 men are some of the most technically gifted we got in WWE today. But with the rumors that Triple H is looking at giving Gunther a really big push, I don't believe he's going to retain. I believe because, and the one thing that pissed Gunther off about this whole thing is with the triple threat stimulation, he does not have to be involved in the decision to lose.
Yeah.
So if Drew comes and claymores the shit out of Sheamus and pins him, Gunther loses the title. But like I said, with the rumors that they want to give Gunther a big push, I do believe Gunther's going to drop the title. And I think by SummerSlam, he's going to be facing Cody or Roman, whoever wins that match. He's going to be facing them for the Undisputed Universal Championship. Or if they do introduce a second championship, which we'll talk more about that when we get to that match. But my official prediction for the match, Sheamus becomes a Grand Slam champion.
Good. Greg, go ahead.
All right. I truly believe that Sheamus will become a Grand Slam champion. I just don't think it'll be at WrestleMania. Here's the reason why. You're right. They are trying to build Gunther as a powerhouse. I think he's definitely going over, so my pick is Gunther. And I think it's funny how you mentioned this, James, because I was actually going to say it. But I think what's going to happen is Drew's going to go for his finisher, and he's going to go for Gunther. He's going to try to hit Gunther, and then Sheamus is going to get thrown in front. He's going to hit Sheamus, and Gunther's going to throw Drew McIntyre out and cover. He's going to cover Sheamus. The reason why I think Sheamus is going to actually take the pinfall with the loss. So what's going to end up happening is I think Gunther's going to hold on to that title to at least SummerSlam, at least, and he'll lose. He will lose it to Sheamus, just not WrestleMania. At that point, after SummerSlam is when Gunther will start going for whatever heavyweight title he decides to go for. So whether it's the Universal or the World, but he'll be in that picture. I'm not sure when he'll win the title, but it'll probably end up being either a Royal Rumble winner or at the Royal Rumble or somewhere around that time, where he'll win the title. It might even be at Mania. I don't know, but so Gunther will be in that spot. I think he's going to retain, but Sheamus will not. Sheamus will be a Grand Slam champion. It just won't happen there.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I've got different reasoning behind it, but Gunther's going to retain. I don't think it's really as story driven as y'all have it. But I mean, if we're going to do that, I like your idea that Drew does hit Sheamus with the Claymore and Gunther does retain. But I also feel like they're going to do something to help rewrite history. And I know that Gunther's getting close to Honky Tonk's record. Because I believe as of tonight, he hits 294 days as champ.
What's Honky Tonk's record?
I don't remember. I know it's in the 300s, though. But I don't see a reason for Gunther to lose it. But I can also see him losing it as well. But, I mean, storyline-wise, I think this is where we see Drew finally turn heel. And then we have Drew versus Sheamus kind of run off into the summer. They'll have a massive one-on-one match at Money in the Bank because that one's going to be in England. Go with the whole European crowd. They're going to go bananas in
so
that.
Honky Tonk Man was at 454 days.
Oh, God. Yeah, so there's still 150 days to go for Gunther. I don't know if they're going to have him go all the way with it, but I do feel like there are more plans for Gunther. But I'll explain that here in a little bit. So, and that leaves us with that match.
Roman Reigns. I'm not just
That guy. Whoever's TV just said it. the Uwu Championship, as we call it.
Yeah, Roman Reigns versus Cody, the American Nightmare Rhodes. All right. We all know what the tabloids and the dirt sheets are saying, but let's weigh in.
I'm going last because I've fantasy booked this months ago.
All right, I'm gonna go second last if you guys don't mind. So
All right, I'll go.
Yep.
I'll keep mine short and sweet because you guys are probably going to drag it on for a bit. I want to see Roman retain just so he passes the 1,000-day mark.
Okay. Next.
Alex.
Yeah. I think Cody's gonna win it. But I really hope that they introduce the new titles. And I honestly, the only reason why, I like Cody. I'm a really big fan of his, but I want to.
But guys, I'm gonna hop out of here real quick. My phone's about to die. So.
Yep. Do what you gotta do, brother.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Talk to you
later, brother.
What's it called? I want to see a new. I want to see a new face on the champions. I want to see a new. Roman's been champion for a long time, and honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of it. But just like the fact that he's been champion for a long time. But I think the storyline with Reigns and the whole storyline with Rhodes and Sammy and like Craig had said earlier, this storyline is probably one of the best that I've seen in a while. But I think Rhodes is gonna take it. I think so.
Fair enough.
All right. James.
Before I give my spill on it, Cody and Roman are coming face to face on SmackDown right now, and Roman is coming without the bloodline.
Yeah.
But as for the match, see, they're building Cody. The reason I think Cody's going to win this match is, well, first off, he did something Monday night that has not been done, and he pinned Solo Sikoa.
Mhm.
Ever since Solo debuted, Solo has whooped everybody's ass that he's faced. No one has been able to beat this guy, and Cody did. While the Bloodline storyline, like Craig has said multiple times in the past, this is not just Cody versus Roman. This is the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes. This is the Bloodline versus KO and Sammy. This is the Bloodline versus pretty much the entire freaking locker room. Roman has it's got to the point where here recently he's won all of his matches without much interference, which is a better thing because, you know, when he was winning every match because the Bloodline was super kicking somebody behind the ref's back or Solo was hitting a spike, it got old and boring because of the fact that he wasn't winning. He was being assisted every match. Cody, my best friend Tyler, the one I've been mentioning all night, did some digging and found out that in Cody's contract, it states that he is to get a main event title match. It never says he has to win that title match. But I think that they're going to finish the Rhodes Dynasty story with Cody winning at WrestleMania because, and not to mention, there's all the rumors that Roman is taking off after WrestleMania. And if Roman really is taking on time off, he's not going to retain the titles. So, in my official prediction, Cody Rhodes is taking the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship.
Okay. Craig?
All right, so I'm not going to carry on for long on this one. Cody Rhodes going to win. He's going to show up on Monday Night Raw the next morning, or next night. It's probably going to feel like the next morning for him. And he's going to unveil a new WWE World Heavyweight title. He's also going to unveil a new Universal title. He's going to relinquish that title. And there is going to be a tournament set up to crown a new WWE champion. Sorry, Universal champion. And I believe in my, again, looking at greater storylines, with the I'm not sure what the correct term here is, but I don't want to say pressure. With the influence of the Saudis, I believe they're going to turn the King of the Ring tournament into a tournament to crown a new Universal champion.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that.
The reason why I don't want to go into great detail about this is because I know I've told you guys this. My idea was stated in our chat. So I don't think it's any surprise what I just said, but that's what I truly believe is going to happen. Now, even if this tournament doesn't happen in Saudi Arabia, I still believe that that's what's going to happen. He's going to, take the high road. The I've got morals. I've got my dream. The story ended at the World Heavyweight title, something my dad was never able to do. I won it. I've achieved my dream. I've finished my story. Now it's time to write that new story. That's great. But the Universal Championship has nothing to do with that, right? So I truly believe he's going to relinquish it so that there will be a title on each show again. Because that is exactly what's – so not only has Roman gotten part-time. So if he only had one title and he was part-time, that would still suck. Because you remember when Brock had one title and was part-time, everyone was bitching. Roman has held two for over a year.
And y'all have been dead quiet on it.
And everyone's been quiet. No one's been bitching as much as they did with Brock. Okay,
I have been. I just haven't been.
I know you have been. But the point I'm trying to make is Brock received a hell of a lot more hate than Roman did because of his part-time status. Roman's I think he's shown up a little bit more in Brock, but like missing a freaking pay-per-view as champion, like, man, that's brutal, right? So, like hearing ahead of time, Roman will not be at this pay-per-view. It's like, fuck, he's the champion with 2 belts. Like, he should be, right? Like, who gave him that contract? But anyway, regardless, I think we're going to see a tournament to crown the champion. What I'm hoping doesn't happen though is that they choose like 8 guys or 4 guys to go at it and win the championship. I hope it's an actual proper tournament.
Okay. How deep into this fantasy booking do I want to go? Because, like I said, I've been writing this for months, and I feel like it might actually happen now. But
real quick before you get started, guys, I gotta go. I gotta get some stuff taken care of for some business I gotta handle tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys later.
all right.
Have a good night, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. He just didn't want to hear my story. It's okay.
I'm sure I'll be able to watch it a little bit later.
Yeah. No, so the way that I've always seen this going, oh, by the way, just a fun thing. Roman Reigns' entrance at WrestleMania, over or under 4.5 minutes long?
I think
Ooh.
under.
Under.
Well,
wait, entrance?
Just the entrance.
I think over.
yeah, I think maybe
they've
over.
got the time. There's only 6 matches on the second night, so they got the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And remember, there's no Undertaker on this one, right? So they've got a lot of time.
Well, we think there's no Taker on this one. So, again, say never with that man.
Yeah.
He'll just show up and just, all right, cool, we're here. But, no, so I see this being like a good, solid 35-minute match. We get to about the 29-minute mark. And of course, per Roman Reigns title matches, we all know one thing that always happens towards the end. The ref becomes paper glass and shatters and falls and becomes blind and deaf and everything else under the sun. So, and per Bloodline usualness,
Solo.
we see that Roman's getting frustrated because he can't put Cody away. So here comes Solo, here comes Jimmy, here comes Jay. The Bloodline is coming together to try to keep the island of relevancy together. Well, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they don't have anything else to do either that night. So they come out and try to assist. So, of course, we're going to see Kevin Owens go after Solo. It's no disrespect, but that's a size thing. And Sami gets tangled up with Jimmy in this case. Camera cuts to them. We're trying to figure out what the heck's going on in the ring. And we see Jey Uso standing in the middle of the ring with both Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns down. Confused. Trying to figure out what he needs to do. Well, we all think he knows what he needs to do because he's holding a belt in his hand. He's waiting for Cody to get up. Cody gets up. Jey super kicks him. Cody bounces off the ropes. Gets a face full of belt. Roman's ecstatic. He's happy. So is the wise man. Everything's great. Roman starts to get up in his side. He starts getting closer to Jey, trying to congratulate him, like saying, hey, you've done great for the bloodline. Jey sakes it in. They hug, they do whatever. Roman goes over to his corner to set up his whole ooh-ah spear finisher shenanigans. So he does that. Jey is still in the ring, still holding the belt. Reigns does his whole ooh-ah thing. He comes down from it, starts running towards where Cody is. Boom. Jey hits Roman with the belt too. The super pop that's going to get. We thought that the pop at the Royal Rumble when Sami hit him was big. We see that story come to full circle. That Jey didn't get to do it first, but he got to do it second. Roman's knocked out. Cody uses his strength to pick up Rhodes. Rhodes picks up Roman. Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes becomes your new undisputed WWE Universal Champion. The Bloodline has disintegrated. And we see that Monday night where Roman just snaps on everybody and Roman gets written off of TV. Solo gets his solo break, and the Usos are free under Roman's control.
So
The bloodline.
you're saying Roman gets like suspended or something, or
No,
I
no,
don't know if he gets suspended or he just has to go and think about life.
yeah, leaves in disgust, I think, is probably the best way to put it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to unpack mine too much because I knew that you and I had very similar thoughts. Although I love the way you finish yours. I think he goes away for a while. He comes back, still pissed off with the Usos and challenges Jay, and that's going to be a match at SummerSlam. So he's gone for the summer. So whatever pay-per-views happen between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, he's gone for. He'll come back in time to set up a match with Jay at SummerSlam, because I think the one thing that this has done, this whole bloodline storyline has done, is Jay and Jimmy have earned their spot as independents as well, as individuals as well. And I think you're going to see, especially Jay, and I think you're going to see another match between the two. I don't think the bloodline is done. I think the bloodline is changing. And hear me on this. Umaga's son is in training right now. If he's doing well, I think they're going to bring him in or up or something. He's training at Booker T's thing. He's not in NXT yet. But I think they're going to use just the three guys, Solo and the Usos, for now, while Roman's gone. So he'll kind of be ousted from the faction, I guess you could say.
Sure.
And when Roman comes back, or some along the lines, Umaga's son will join if he moves up. Now, there's also a couple other dudes floating around that are part of that family that are not part of. I think there's one guy in MLW right now.
Yep.
So there is a possibility that the others could join as well that are already established, that are not just learning to wrestle. So you never know what happens. I think as I said, this storyline is probably one of the best. I mean, I'm a storyteller myself, and I love seeing long-term storylines, and this has been absolutely thrilling to watch. Whether I like Roman retaining or certain things happening, yeah, of course I'm a wrestling fan, so there's been times where I was like, oh man, I wish that didn't happen. But I mean, it's good that it did, because now we're look where we've got, and that's one thing that I've really enjoyed about Triple H. And since he's been taken over, is the storylines have gotten better for the most part. There's been some bad ones, but for the most part, the storylines have gotten better.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, to the other part that I didn't get to, but to piggyback off of what you were saying, Craig, with Cody officially relinquishing the Universal belt, I also think this is the last time we will ever see the Universal belt. I do believe that there will be a new championship given for SmackDown, but it's not exactly going to be new to us fans, because I believe that the big gold belt makes its triumphant return to SmackDown.
You think so, eh?
I do. Let's get back to it. Let's have a WWE and World Heavyweight. There was nothing wrong with it. Cody's always been a sucker for bringing the classics back. There's rumor that we might get a version of a winged eagle. But that big gold belt has felt so right being on the shoulder or around the waist of somebody on SmackDown. Heck, Batista looked great with it. Undertaker did. JBL, Edge. Heck,
I agree. I agree to an extent, but I just... So the winged eagle will always be... I mean, it was... Hogan brought it out. He debuted it.
Right.
It was, and I believe it was Stone Cold that retired it.
Yes, because that's when we got the Smoking Skull one.
That's right. Actually, no, there was one in between, wasn't there? No, yeah, there was one in between.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yep, I'm looking at a picture of it right now. He retired the winged eagle and came out with the big eagle Attitude Era one. That was between the two, the Smoking Skull one. So. It's so synonymous with WWE, with WWE and WWF. WWF, right? But the big gold, in my opinion, is synonymous with NWA and WCW. So
Okay.
I as much as a fan, I would love to see that belt back because you're right. Batista looked like amazing with that belt, and so
Yes.
did a couple other guys. I just don't see it coming back. What I do
Okay.
see coming back is a redesigned Universal title that won't be called a Universal title. They might have to rename it to something else. But definitely, I don't know if the Winged Eagle Championship's coming back for Cody. It might be a modified version. I think the one floating around the internet where it was a belt maker had made the title for Cody as a, hey, this is cool, man. You should use this. And he got a picture of it, and then it just it exploded all over the internet. I think it's a cool looking title, but just the way things. So if you look at the original Winged Eagle title, it's not a big belt.
No.
The Winged Eagle Attitude Era one was actually bigger, right?
Yep.
And the current WWE one is bigger. So for them to go back to the size of the original Winged Eagle belt would kind of, I don't know. Yeah. Look at what the New Japan Wrestling with their
IWGP.
The original title was beautiful, and then when they separated into the world title and when they merged the Intercontinental, I guess, and the world into that one belt, it was like, this is okay, right? So I don't know, like they had the best looking title, and then they went and still, don't get me wrong, they're still both really good looking titles, but I think we're going to see two new titles. Just I don't think
well, and I mean I agree. I think it'll be a new title. I just think I feel like there's going to be some kind of homage to the Winged Eagle, kind of like what Cody did when he brought back the white strapped Intercontinental. I feel like it'll be something along those lines. But I mean, SmackDown deserves something new. They deserve to have their own champion. We've heard it enough from the network execs that USA was irritated that they didn't have a quote-unquote top champion on their show every week. Cody fills that void. SmackDown, I understand there may be a draft coming as well, but if not, use the summer to build up to it. And this is where I think Gunther gets the push. I think you could absolutely put a world title on Gunther and have him be the quote-unquote flag bearer to carry Friday nights on.
And you had Sheamus going over him at.
I still had Gunther winning at Mania.
Okay,
but that doesn't mean that I don't see Gunther at least winning a world title very soon.
Oh, I agree. I think it'll happen at SummerSlam. Or even in the tournament that I'm
that King of the Ring, or heck, even Money in the Bank,
or something, right? So I don't know. I see it. I think they'd be foolish not to do it because he's very dominant. I mean, I watched the Royal Rumble again today. Man, he was impressive.
I mean that's the longest I've ever seen him in a match. But I'm fascinated with him. I'm fascinated with his work. I saw what he was doing in the UK. He was all right, but ever since he's come over stateside, it's just taken that extra step.
Yeah, and I'd be honest with you, if I'd be lying if I said when he first came over to WWE, I didn't see the hype. I knew of him. Yeah, I was like, that's not bad. Right, and when he came over, I'm like, still not bad. And then they gave him the title, and he had this long run with the UK title. I was like, wow, that's hell of a run to have for a new guy. And I just didn't see the hype. Then he dropped the weight.
Yeah, he got a lot more thinner.
Yeah, and that was Vince's doing. Vince basically said, I'm not going to do anything with you unless you drop some weight. So he dropped some weight, and they gave him Imperium, and it was just, I just think that faction has worked. Even though the two other guys are just, they're okay.
Yeah,
right?
Kaiser I forget the other guy's name. That's how much I know about him. I only know of Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser, and I can't really the guy's
name. My point.
Yeah, it's they do well together though. Like it just works, right? And I think that's the reason why Roman's been so strong over the last couple of years is because he had the bloodline, right?
Yep.
So would his reign have lasted as long? Look at all the wins, man. Even against Logan Paul, like somebody interfered.
I feel like one of the good things, well, not the good thing, but one of the interesting things about Gunther is that he hasn't really like felt like he needed Imperium to help him. It's always been like him.
Mm-hmm.
doing it. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's the thing. Gunther's always, I mean, his ring general moniker suits him so well. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't need them. But he knows he is the power behind Imperium. But I mean, I feel like we've cut you off, Alex, from like the last 5 minutes. So go ahead, talk to the people.
Yeah, no, I just want to go back to like just two last things that like about the about the championships. Honestly, I think my prediction about the championship is that I think that Cody's gonna win it, and then eventually what's gonna happen is he's gonna merge the two titles into one, and then I think SmackDown's gonna end up getting their own title, and kind of like what Craig said, I think that I think the King of the Ring tournament is going to end up turning into a tournament for the SmackDown Championship, because I think Cody's probably going to stay on Raw
Yeah.
soon.
Yep.
So, but and then going back to the storyline too with about your prediction about the main event of WrestleMania, like. I think that's one of like the interesting things about the storyline is that it just like can go in so many directions, and it's like kind of puts you at the edge of your seat, like where's it gonna go next, But
Yep.
I like your prediction. I think eventually what's gonna happen is Jay and Roman are gonna end up having a match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say one thing too. I think that I mentioned in the group chat is that Randy Orton is supposed to be at in Los Angeles. So what I'm thinking is what's gonna happen is Rhodes is gonna end up winning, and then at the end of the match, Randy will probably come out and congratulate him, and then I think it's gonna turn on him, RKO him, and then I think
The
they'll end up
legacy
having
callback.
What was that?
The legacy thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot about that. Oh God, where's Ted DiBiase Jr.?
I don't believe he's wrestling anymore, to be honest with you.
No, he was doing something in Arizona, and he's dealing with some fraud stuff with Ted Sr. right now. So
I think so, yeah.
yeah,
But
but yeah,
I think the other brother got into some problems. I think it leaked into him into his father. So
yeah, it did.
Yeah, I love for Randy to come out and kind of be like, oh yeah, I'm proud of my protege, because they were in that whole legacy thing, and then end up turning on him, and then they'll work the program, and then obviously SmackDown will have its own thing. I think that it's that's what I was one of the reasons why I was saying that I wanted the belts to change, because it feels like it's been forever that SmackDown and Raw has had a separate championships for their own show,
Yeah, since Mania 38.
Yeah, it should be like that. I think each show should have their own belts.
Yeah,
and I think didn't Cody make a comment at some point about the fact that one show or the other didn't have a champion show up on a weekly basis or something like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's where they're gonna go. So
yeah,
and that's the other thing too, is that one of the things that I like about like that I think will be really good about Cody winning is that Cody is like a person that I feel like Cody's a person that wants to be having matches weekly. He wants to be putting great quality matches on every week, so it works out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I mean, he's still in his mid-30s. He's in fantastic shape. He's an absolute star.
Yeah.
He can carry the company for a good 10 years. Not saying have a 10-year title run, because screw that. Nobody should do that ever again. Sorry, Bruno. But, just looking at it long term, I mean, it's time. And I actually do like that. But just looking at some of my picks here, now I really am worried about King of the Ring, because Charlotte's going to lose at Mania, and and then she's going to claim that she's Queen of the Ring,
Yeah.
as if she needs even more going there. Yeah, because they're doing King and Queen of the Ring.
Sorry, Charlotte's going to lose at Mania. You think she's going to win the Queen of the Ring?
Of the Ring. I mean, Zelina Vega won it, and she doesn't done anything with the title. But it did give her a title opportunity.
I think so, but do they even recognize the fact that she had won it? Like, because I mean, that was done on
they were promoting the crap out of it. She was Queen Zelina, and
I remember that.
King
No, I'm
Xavier.
just saying that since then, because she's changed gimmicks. Now she's with was it
Legato.
Legato, yeah. So I don't even know if they recognize the fact that she was Queen of the Ring as well. Or, like, I don't know. It was such a joke that the way it was done. So I'm not sure if they're going to go into it, because this is the first time they're actually having official, like, the way they're doing it, right? Or was the last one official? I don't remember.
The last
Because
one was official.
It was just done on TV, right? It wasn't done on a pay-per-view.
No, it was a pay-per-view. It was the first King of the Ring that Xavier Woods won over in Saudi Arabia.
Ah, okay, all right, yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
because then he got the mini push against Roman for winning that, and Vega got her mini push against Becky at the time, maybe.
Yeah.
Whoever was the women's champ, like they both got title shots out of this.
Nice.
So I could just see that happening here. So, but yeah, no. Speaking of Orton, I had him and Matt Riddle returning on Monday Night Raw. The night after, I have RK Bro ready.
I was just gonna say something in the group chat, I think a couple days ago, and just say something about Matt Riddle, because I totally forgot about Matt Riddle was still in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he served his 30 days, and I think they've just kind of been waiting. But I also think that we're going to see Braun Breaker officially come up. I think tomorrow morning is going to be his last NXT match.
So you're thinking he's going to lose to Carmelo?
I think Carmelo is going to be the face of NXT for the next little bit. And I know that there's always a debut of some sort.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt Cardona. Just come on. We've got Chelsea Green.
I know, but
here's the thing. He won't come back as Zack Ryder. He's coming back as Matt Cardona.
Yeah, but the WWE fans are not going to take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's always been.
He will bury it.
Really?
Well, you got to think the crowd that shows up at the Raw after Mania is very well versed in other promotions as well.
Oh yeah.
So I figure if there's going to be a time to bring him back, that would be the time, and plus casual fans.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just
that would be my pick if I had to pick a debut for Monday night, because we all know there's always one.
Yeah,
I would pick Cardona, and if it's not him, it's going to be FTR making their comeback.
I don't think FTR's coming back. Fuck that. No. After what they've been doing lately,
even with it being Triple H in charge now.
Yes. So I'm not saying they'll never come back. I'm just saying they're not coming back after Mania. And the reason why is because they literally today posted a picture with Punk, and they're having a match at the next pay-per-view for AEW,
or whatever.
Is it tomorrow?
No, it's not tomorrow. Oh God, no.
Okay, it's career versus titles. So if they lose that match, they're done. They got to quit. But if they win the match, they win the titles. I don't think they're going to lose their freaking career, so they're going to win those titles. So they're not coming back anytime soon. But
is it a career just like in AEW or?
See, that's what I'm.
Yeah. So they lose their. Do they have it in their contract? I don't know. Like it's just, it's weird. I don't know.
I mean, we've also seen the Hardys show up a day after doing an ROH card. Literally less than 24 hours later.
ROH wasn't owned by
Tony Khan.
And I think they didn't have a no compete clause at the time too, right? So it is possible. You never know. So
do we think that there's going to be a 7th match on Sunday, or do we really think that there's only going to be 6?
Oh, I don't think they're going to add a match. You're thinking a spontaneous match type thing, or?
Yeah, like a Rock spot or maybe an Austin spot. I mean, Pat McAfee's going to be there.
I feel like maybe the Miz or something. Like
the Miz. I mean,
I think the Miz might get involved in Logan Paul Seth Rollins match, but I don't think he's going to have a separate match.
Yeah, I was going to say I brought that up when we were first talking about that. How he's going to show up, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It's crazy
It-
how fast 3 hours goes by.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
been 3 hours
Yeah.
since me and Craig started this.
Crazy.
yeah,
Actually,
y'all
probably a
hopped
little
in
longer. I
late.
think we started and then ended and then started again. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that's
I
pretty
mean,
awesome.
do y'all see any other wacky things happening here at Mania? Do we get any different, maybe celebrity spots?
I feel like Snoop Dogg maybe is gonna do
Well,
something with.
Snoop Dogg is was on the on the original poster. He's not on the two that I'm looking at right now, but these two were for the matches.
Yeah.
Honestly, with what happened with Sasha Banks, I'm surprised that Snoop Dogg was involved. But I think because of the whole Hollywood thing, it's
Yeah. Well, Kevin Hart is doing the cold open both nights.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I saw those.
What,
Well, I
what's
didn't
cold
watch
open?
them, but I saw Kevin Hart pop up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna
What-
save the rest because I'm trying to be spoiler free.
Yeah, me too. That's why I didn't
What
I didn't
cold
watch
open
the
are you
video you
talking
sent.
about?
Yeah. Huh?
What cold open are you talking about?
Like the video package that they do before, like the whole Welcome to WrestleMania thing.
Oh, he's doing both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
did
really?
they announce who's doing America the Beautiful or anything like that?
I don't think they have yet, but I would assume that that's coming probably after the Hall of Fame's done
Okay.
because I know that that's on right now.
Yeah, that's right now.
So
Are you guys watching the Hall of Fame or no?
No, I'm not in
No.
front of my TV.
nah, I've been committed to this.
Yeah, no, this is more exciting for me right now, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
this was
I mean,
kind of groundbreaking for us because we've been chatting via text for over a decade. I know a few of you guys play video games together. I'm not sure if you do video chats or Discord or whatnot, but this is the first time all of us were in the same room at the same time, which is really cool.
yeah.
I was gonna say if a lot of the other people are down or even you guys too. I mean, it would be really interesting to do one before every pay-per-view. You know, just
Would be.
Yeah.
It's definitely evolved, right? So
Yeah. I mean, heck, this is up on YouTube right now. So shout out to my YouTube people. Shout out to Facebook people. I know at one point we had like 5 people watching us through Facebook too. So
that's cool. That's cool.
yeah, so I mean,
Awesome.
it's something new for all of us, but no, this has been fun. So
Yeah.
I mean, if we want, we can make this a thing where like whoever gets the most predictions gets to hold a belt or something. Then it gets virtually passed across the continent, depending on who gets the most picks right for that pay-per-view or whatever.
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. That's what I was asking you. Like, you know, like if you were keeping a running total because or just like for whoever got the matches right. It's always like like on the NFL on Fox or something. You know, they have like
Mhm.
scores of people
Yeah.
who have like the games right. So it's always like
Yeah.
pretty fun to keep a running total, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if anything, we can make it really interesting and be like, whoever's got the most matches right out of this, like if there's just one person, they get to claim that they're the champs until the next pay-per-view, and then whoever gets all of them right on the next pay-per-view, they can take it, or you
Yeah.
have to beat the champ type thing. But if there's like 2 of y'all that tie, you could be like, okay, instead of everybody doing the picks, it's only these 2, and whoever gets more right here, they take it, and then kind of build it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It seems to work for other channels.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, like I said, I'm sure everybody has some replica belt at their house
Yeah.
that they
I
can
don't,
use.
but yeah, there's
I mean, heck, just put a piece of like gold sticky tape over a regular belt and call that it. I don't care. Use cardboard, cut it out. I don't know.
Yeah. I hear you.
So, but yeah, no, this has been fun. It's
Yeah.
been a fun 3 hours. So, yeah, we'll have to do this again. God, what's next after this? Is it Backlash or is it King of the Ring?
Yeah, James James said WrestleMania Backlash, but I think it's just Backlash. They changed
Well,
it.
either way.
They just changed it to Backlash now. It's not WrestleMania.
Oh, well, thank God.
Thankfully, yeah, because that was kind of a stupid idea to call it WrestleMania Backlash because it kind of recycling freaking matches again.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
definitely.
I hope they don't do the exact same matches. That I think my dog's about to lose it.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, what did Storm just find?
No, someone knocked on our door.
Oh, it's 10:30 at night. Who's knocking on your door?
Oh, one of my daughter's friends just showed up. It's all good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, it was
Yeah, I hope the Edge and Baylor are finished with their storyline with their program after this. Who else? I don't know who else has been having a storyline. I hope Ray and Dominic are kind of done with their storyline after this. Well, maybe not, but
I don't think I don't think their storylines ending anytime soon.
yeah. But I don't know who else has been having a storyline for a long time. But I know for sure Edge and Baylor. I hope their storyline is kind of finished after this one. Seems like their storyline's been going on for quite a while now.
Edge and Baylor. Yeah, that's a tougher one.
Yeah.
Ray and Dominic are not done by any means.
You don't think so?
No. I think that's going to go on for a while.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta remember, this is their first match, right? So I don't think it will end at one match, regardless of who wins. There's going to be a rubber match at least, and the other person will probably go over, right? So if Ray puts over his son at WrestleMania, he's winning the next match.
Mm-hmm. And then the
Yeah,
third one.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways a lot of these matches could go, but
Yeah,
I'm just happy if I see a lowrider.
What's that?
If I see a lowrider, I win.
Yeah, no. I was predicting that as well. It's pretty cool.
yeah, but I think Backlash is next, and then I think the King and Queen of the Ring is one after that, and then I think
and then it goes to Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, right?
And then it goes to SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. So
yeah. Feels weird. It literally feels like WrestleMania 38 was like 5 months ago.
yeah, it's crazy how fast the time just goes. I mean,
Yeah. Now here we are about
3 hours.
20 hours away.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but no, man, this was fun. So, but
Definitely was.
I think 3 hours is a good time to call it.
It is. Not that I want to get rid of you guys, but I'd love to go over and watch the Hall of Fame. I missed SmackDown, so but this was more important to me. So I really appreciate you guys jumping on board. I know it was kind of a crazy idea at first, and because we actually are all in different time zones, which is kind of wacky when you think about it. Because I think
he's in the Central.
Ian, you're in Mountain, right? You're not Pacific. Okay, so you're in Mountain.
So is
James,
it 8:30 where you are, Ian?
What's up?
You're 8:30, right? Because you would be an hour less than me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you're Eastern time, right? You would be Eastern.
I'm Eastern, but Dustin, James, and you are all central, right?
Central time, I think.
Yeah. So Ian and I are the oddballs. We're on either side of you guys, and Ryan's obviously in Central as well. He's just about 20 minutes north of Dustin.
Yep.
So yeah, it was awesome. I wish that we could have all been there, but it was nice getting
it was nice getting. Who's got the playback on? Oh, it's Alex on his phone.
Yes. Was it ringing?
No. It's
echoing.
Yeah, well, I think I guess I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning or a little bit later today after the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and hop off now.
All right, man. We'll catch you next time.
All right, I'll see you guys later. It's nice talking to you guys.
Take care.
You too, brother.
All right. How do you hang this? Oh, there you go. Leave.